What's going on, everybody? Y'all come on in here and let's get started. My apologies for my lateness. Got caught up in my last live. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, super step it. Girl, you over here all over people's radio station. You can't make this up. Y'all come on in and hit the like button. Hit the like button. We got to talk about Super Stupid. Y'all ready? What's going on, Cheryl, Condia, Saint? Shout out to my moms. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Oh, man. We're going to kick this off with a throwback. I don't say a throwback, but y'all remember the WGN News guy, Brad, what's his name? Brad Bradley? Yeah, he did a video about, of course, Tiffany Henyard coming to the state of Georgia to get on all of our nerves. So we're going to check this out. And then we have LA Pink. I did not know who this woman was until she made comments at the Fulton County Commission meeting last week. Because this week, Tiffany Henyard had her hearing. She was there on Monday because I made sure I put up a whole thumbnail telling her to have her ass there or kick rocks. She showed up in her black suit. So she listened to that. You can't make this up. And last week, they had a hearing. And, of course, members of the public were able to go and speak out on the issue. One of them having this badass pink mohawk. So I just so happened to see the video where this lady has a channel or something. And I don't know if it's her channel. She was on somebody else's channel. I was like, oh, yeah, I want to see this. Because she was on point and funny. I enjoyed her commentary. So we're going to check that out. And then we're going to get to this radio station interview that Tiffany did. Girl. Oh, Lord have mercy. So that's what we're going to do in this live. Y'all ready? This is going to be something else. God. Oh, yes. I got your email. Yeah, we're going to have to check that out for Scientology Sunday. Is he out of jail or did he go back? Because I thought I saw a video from what you call it saying that he was in jail. But she did it on his channel and I didn't see it on hers. It was a live stream she did on Growing Up Scientology on AA Run, Aaron's channel. But Jenna didn't do it on hers. She did it on his. Is he still there? Getting out early. Okay. That's so crazy. Oh, y'all. Scientology trying everybody today. Can't make this up. How y'all doing? Hope y'all having a good day. Dane, how you doing? What's going on? So, yeah, I got your email, Cheryl. We'll check it out on Scientology for Scientology Sunday. We got a lot to catch up on with that with Aaron's case against Scientology. They being a bunch of jackasses then. Oh, Tiffany Cabal came in like this. I know. Yeah, shout out to Jay Witt podcast. My brother Jay Witt went to the actual hearing Monday, and he met him, and he said, "Oh, Siggy is a mess." I can believe it. Siggy is a mess. He's done a couple videos, and I have to get this in, y'all, because we just gotta have a good laugh at it. Tiffany, we're just laughing at you at this point. We're not even taking you seriously, girl. Can't make this up. What's going on, Ralph Mars? How you doing? John back up in here. Candace Owens' video was bogus and hilarious. Candace is gonna be so mad when she finds out my attorneys don't want me. You know she's gonna try to lie and twist it up. All three of her attorneys are dissing her. She had that coming. You can't keep dogging them out. You know they don't have to represent you, girl. That's a pleasure. It's not a requirement. LA Pink stays on the politicians, heads down there in the ATL. Yep. From what I hear, she does goes out to meetings and speak all the time. So I'm so glad that she does that. I'm from Florida. My parents don't live too far from that bogus ass church. They are literally trying to take over Clearwater. I've been saying this, John. That's what we've been talking about for Scientology Sundays. We didn't get it in this past Sunday, but we're going to get it in this upcoming Sunday. But I've been saying that. Scientology is trying to take over Clearwater. As if the United States doesn't have a military or something to push them back. They're like they're scared to do something. Can't make this up. So we're gonna keep exposing it. We're not in the mood for coats. They could just go to another country somewhere with their coat, but they rather just try to infiltrate the U.S. and get on our nerves about it, and we're sick of it. Just like Candace. Candace could just move to an island to take her cult members with her, but they rather just be here and get on the rest of our nerves for some reason. It's crazy. Cult leaders are weird. Yeah, please watch that Candace video. Her attorneys are withdrawing from her case. So we did check out the court docket. There is a notice on file. There will be a motion filed, and hopefully the motion to withdraw will be heard on Tuesday, along with the motion to dismiss. And then Candace can get new attorneys from there. Not prolong the matter on the motion to dismiss, because it's been long enough. So it's time to hear that. I don't think the judge would want to delay that if he doesn't have to. It's not necessary. And they sick of Candace. They are sick. Her own attorneys are sick of her. Can't make this up. Y'all ready to get into this? Y'all hit the number 4 when you can see and hear. Let's get to it.
Scandal-scarred South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard is hoping for a comeback. I'm WGN-TV investigative reporter Ben Bradley. Henyard is attempting to resuscitate her political career 700 miles away in Atlanta, where she has apparently secured a spot on the ballot for district commissioner on the Fulton County Board. For those of you who don't remember the long, strange saga of Tiffany Henyard's reign in the South suburbs, here's a quick refresher. She flew first class, wined and dined on the taxpayer dime. She had a questionable cancer charity. Corruption claims dogged her to the point the FBI served subpoenas. While she hasn't been charged with wrongdoing, she did not take it particularly well whenever anyone would question her.
Y'all are black, and y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Dalton voters drummed her out of office early last year. 88% voted against her. She was a Democrat back then, and now she's running as a Republican. And because there's no competition in the primary, that clears the way for her to be on the general election ballot in November. We rang up a political science professor from Emory University in Atlanta. She said Henyard's bid is a long shot.
This is somebody who hasn't had much of a chance to establish roots, and she's going to be running against people who have far deeper roots in the community. And so that might actually end up being what is her undoing. It may not be because of her scandalous past, but it may be she hasn't lived long enough in this district.
Georgia election records show that Henyard registered to vote down there on February 27th, just 2 days after voters gave her the boot in Dalton. That means even if she's elected in Georgia, she may not meet the year residency requirement. Henyard did not respond to my request for comment, but that may be because she knew we were also calling about this. A judgment entered today by a Cook County court. A judge ordered Henyard and her boyfriend to pay their old landlord in Dalton $10,000. She's accused of stiffing the landlord on rent and causing property damage before they left town. For more of our reporting, go to WGNTV.com/investigates.
So, honey, I'm back with
Okay, y'all. This is before we get to LA. Is it LA Pink? Oh my God. Keep the chicken nuggets still a thing? I can't believe this. Cheryl said he had her on his podcast. It was literally train wreck. What the hell they got to talk about? If a double cheeseburger with a small fry came up, I can't. I thought he could stand us YouTubers. It's so funny how people like those two thunkheads sit here and lambast those who have podcasts and YouTube channels, and then they turn around and get them things themselves. They knock the idea of having a YouTube channel, but then they start a podcast and go on YouTube. Unbelievable, but you can't make this up. It's the hypocrisy for me. I thought he had a job as a food carrier, delivery, food pantry, something like that. Where the food boxes at? Keep my chicken nugget. Hold the hamburger. Still at it. Trying to be relevant. Off of her. Go figure. Can't make this up. Oh man, what's going on, Mr. Is it Mr. X? How you doing, honey? Oh man, y'all ready? Let's get to this one here. Oh Jesus Christ! This girl, who is the lady at the top? Y'all know her? They really need to hope that voters do pay attention to Tiffany's past and Dalton. Thank you. That lady said, it's not so much her scandalous past. It should always be her scandalous past. It's a Google search. This girl was international, wreaking havoc internationally. When you have people paying attention from other countries around the world, you've gone international. So you can't just hide this stuff. Plus, there are plenty of court documents I've gone over of content in my playlist showing all the many laws that she broke, doing the dumb things that she did, the illegal terminations to removing people off bank accounts, local ordinances, state laws violated, failure to adhere to FOIA requests. When your state AG has to send you a letter saying that you need to send over documents, that's problematic. It's because you think you're above the rule of law. You shouldn't have to follow the law. The state attorney general should not have to tell you to do something for you to do it. But yet she wants everybody to take her seriously like a grown woman. Unbelievable. And people try to diminish the things she's done. No, you can read in court documents a lot of things she's done. The fact that she didn't pay rent, you owe 10 grand. You couldn't just give up that woman's house. Oh, God. But then now they just belittle that and act like it's not a big deal. Are you fucking kidding me? Right is right, but wrong is wrong. And when you have a whole violation of laws, even as a tenant living in somebody else's property, it's still a violation of law. Why is that diminished? But that's what happens. The Hentards are trying to diminish the horrible shit she's done and make it seem as if, oh no, well, she's not that bad. I mean, no, don't compare her to me. No, she's not to be compared to everybody else because everybody has not been a mayor and a supervisor at the same time either. Certain things are just not comparable. It isn't because she has not been on the same level as the average person. When she's had the opportunity to be a mayor and supervisor at the same time, that's not something everyone else can say they served in those roles like that. So don't compare her nonsense to someone else where her nonsense landed her in a court of law many, 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 many times. I hate when people try to downplay that shit. You're trying to give her an excuse for what? Is she paying your bills? Because if the answer is no, you owe her nothing. Neither do we. I owe her nothing. I don't owe her nothing. All right, y'all, let's get the LA Pink. I just had to put that out there because it's so irritating where it's like people picking up where they left off and they're trying to diminish all of her horrible crap that she did. That included violation of laws. Isn't it a crime to break the law? It is. It is. It still is.
LA Pink, hey, it's been a minute.
Hey, what's going on? I know, right?
Donna, you need to tell me what's going on because this flew over my head. And this happened a week ago, but it flew over my head. You went down to the Fulton County Board of Commissions and gave them a piece of your mind, and you went viral. So I'm like, what y'all call it? So I want to play this clip. But
okay, so this is LA Pink. Is her channel Street Group? What does that say? Street Groomer? Y'all see her channel name? Okay. Dana with the data channel. There you go. Thank you, Kandia, for that YouTube channel link. I'm doing well, Mr. X. How you doing? Michael, why are you asking is this real? What do you mean? Is my voice real, the video real, the live stream real? What? Which one? Is what real? Be specific, honey. They ask these questions to get attention. Bless their heart. Kids be playing all over the internet. I mean, don't you have homework to do? Got homework to do. It's something real.
This is you at the Fulton County Commissioners, right? Hearing.
Which I've been, you already know, you've been covering the story for the last couple of years. It's been almost 5 years that I've been going down there straight. So, I'm not looking for a viral moment. I'm looking for a change moment, and for people to really wake up and see. I think that they thought that we would stop coming. Eventually she'll get tired, and they can see that I'm not. I watch their every move and who.
Oh, I can tell you right now, if y'all see the panel, everyone, it was 3-1. So this lady right here, Member Adams, is the one that voted no. The other 3 here are the ones that voted yes to let Super Stupid stay on that ballot, because she was on the ballot. The hearing was a challenge hearing to determine whether or not she's eligible to remain on it based on her residency. There was a huge overlap with her trying to claim permanent residency in the state of Georgia while she was a permanent resident in the state of Illinois, because she was still serving in the role as mayor and supervisor. And when they asked her that in the challenge hearing, she just said, yeah. And just like she almost skipped over the question. It's a yes or no. You knew that you were still being paid as mayor and supervisor after you signed the lease, allegedly, to be a permanent resident here in the state of Georgia in order to run for office. Had she just said, I'm just going to move here and just be here, is one thing. It's another thing when it comes to you running for office. So it was a 3-1 vote. Those 3 thunkheads said yes. Member Adams here, the Caucasian lady with the longer hair, she said hell no. And she was like, and Sick is standing there trying to be intimidated with his pot belly and his boobs hanging out, no bra on. Was not intimidating or threatening at all. Because that's something that, they like to do, try to intimidate people. Man, you ain't scared no damn body. You better get your ass on the treadmill and wear a bra next time, Siggy.
And it's not that I'm stalking them. It's that it's obvious of what you're doing. A lot of people see it and they don't say nothing. But it's different when you go to their face with it. Y'all been putting it out there. Y'all have covered a lot of stuff in Fulton County that a lot of other podcasters that have not covered. They just barely getting into it and they live in Fulton County. But you guys have been covering it, holding us down for many, many years now that we've been down here, just continuous to drive it down their throat about the corruption, the cult of corruption that's happening down here. So for people to start waking up and now seeing it, it's a blessing, for them to finally hear, like, dang, we've been saying this from the giddy up. It's the same language. It's just a different corrupt situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always something new. It's something new that comes in.
You went to this hearing because you expressed concern about Tiffany Henyard.
Absolutely.
Henyard or Hayward, something like that. Yeah. So I want to play the clip first and then, have you talk about it.
All right. So in 2021, the sheriff said that it was a myth that if you want to commit a crime, come to Fulton County. This was a post that he posted back in 2021. And as Fulton County turns, and as we open up the Fulton Sting files, guess what we find off in there? All of you. Tiffany, how is that so that she is able to come to Fulton County that is becoming a hub for corruption, deception, manipulation, and be able to just sign in? Now, keep in mind, I feel like she was sent. I feel like it was something done by the Democratic Party. Yes, I do. That's just allegedly by me. That's my opinion. Because how is it that she's a sheriff in a whole nother state, come here able? This is just showing the disconnect of the work and the leaders that we have here in Fulton County. Because she's registered still as a mayor in a whole nother state and able to come here, the hub of corruption in Fulton County, and register. And y'all are sitting up here confused. But then Julie, Jason, they can't even get a seat at the table to do right by the people because of the corruption of the Democratic Party. Now, this is for our Black people because Harriet Tubman want to know, Malcolm X want to know, when is integrity going to step up to the plate? Because see, here in Georgia, Black people wasn't even supposed to be sitting in front of nobody.
That's your time,
Get it
ma'am.
together.
Thank you. The next speaker, and we will not have clapping, and keep the decorum of the meeting.
Hey, who
Can't
is
clap at a
that?
meeting.
Who is she?
She's the chair. She's the chair of the state election board.
She said we will not have any clapping.
Clapping, any kind of girl. Bye.
What? Let's get back to you though. So
Yeah, so clapping is when we went over this regarding case law under the First Amendment. It's a form of expression, the free speech. You can't clap at a general meeting. It just can't be disruptive. But that was not disrupting anything. No one was talking. It was a quick clap. She just didn't like it. Like anybody gives a damn. It's not how that works. These people get into these positions and they don't know laws. It's the incompetency for me.
you know, what is your concern with Tiffany Henyard
Hit that like button, y'all.
being in Fulton County and running for
AJ Williams.
office as a Republican?
Well, first of all, she was still.
Hey, Sonya.
Let's just start here, and this is the problem. I don't like. I told Tiffany when I talked to her, or when because we were supposed to have a meeting, to sit down and go over because she wants to explain, you know, what happened and, you know, from where she come from, and that's not really my concern. I don't. Corruption is corruption, and everybody has their own. You know, you got to hear it from me. It didn't happen that way. We get it from Funny Willis all the time, but. The problem that I had with the situation is that how were you able to be sitting still as a mayor, come to Fulton County and register as
Michelle, who said it was a ceremony? You can clap in a hearing. There's case law heard in the Supreme Court about that. I implore you to look that up. You can't clap in a hearing. In a public hearing, you can clap. It has nothing to do with it being a ceremony. It's about the First Amendment, freedom of expression. There is case law to support that. You kidding?
a Republican
Never said anything about
for a county commissioner seat. So she was still in position. She was still a mayor. She was still a Democrat. But you came here and registered as a Republican and as a commissioner. But you wasn't done with where you came from, you know? And so for me, that's just showing the continuously of corruption of Fulton County. It's not the problem directly with her. It's how could you feel comfortable about doing that? And why hasn't Funny Willis said anything? But I know why. You know, she's too busy getting her corrupt friends jobs. You know, she took a judge that had being removed and having charged.
Fannie Willis doesn't even care. I don't think Fannie Willis cares. If she's running as a Republican, I mean, she's kind of like, okay, looking at the district, it's a majority, Democratic district. It is what it is. I mean, she's not going to win. She doesn't have the votes. The end. And besides, unless Tiffany Henyard say something directly about Fannie Willis and Fannie Willis feel like she got to respond, I don't even know what is expected to be said. They're not on the same team here. So what does anyone want Fannie Willis to say? Oh, look, y'all, this woman came down and she's voting as a Republican in a Democratic, majority area district. Yo, yay. I mean, what if she says something, then it'd be, oh, well, she's interfering with the election. She's just a, prosecutor. She's the DA. Then they'll have a whole back and forth. And then that'll be just as dumb. As Michelle saying that something is a ceremony and a hearing and all of that when no one said anything about a ceremony except her. I mean, it'd just be just as ridiculous. We don't care. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant.
Investigated, allegedly being investigated, and gave her a job as a prosecutor. So you don't care that she's coming from another state and all this stuff is happening. You know, you haven't said a mumbling word about nothing, about the 2020 ballots, about, you know, and I really feel like this is her even being able to be registered is a distraction for the ballots. Because if y'all been paying attention, like I have, nobody been saying anything about the 2020 election ballots. They even had
Michelle, you again, I gave case law. I've gone over case law, Supreme Court ruling that permitted clapping in a public hearing. You're trying to tell me that that case law is insignificant because there needs to be order. Don't you think the courts consider that in case law? Do you understand what case law is? Case law is court rulings that have set precedents in determining how other courts should interpret and uphold laws. So when it comes to clapping in a public hearing, the courts have already ruled that that is a form of expression of speech. You can look this stuff up and read it. I have videos I've done on it. So what your opinion is about it being a ceremony is irrelevant. When you had courts rule on clapping being permitted. Bottom line, I don't know any one of us that's here and can just your opinion is cute, but it doesn't override court ruling. I know exactly what you're saying, and I'm telling you there are court rulings that says that clapping is permitted in public hearings. Saying you can't clap is infringement upon free speech under the First Amendment, and there is case law to support it. It's that simple. The chair's ruling does not override Supreme Court ruling. It doesn't. I don't care what the chair lady thinks. What she thinks and feels could still be an infringement on free speech. And we've seen that with Tiffany Henyard. We've seen that with others that think that they can override laws. They don't override the law. That's how easy it is to get sued for infringing upon First Amendment rights. With stunts like that. I don't care about her ruling on it. There is case law where the court has said that chair people like her have infringed upon freedom of speech and expression by telling people they couldn't clap in a meeting. It's not the same thing. So you're more than welcome to look up the case law and read it for yourself. I implore you to do that.
Yes, I think yesterday was the first time I really seen something come back out that the judge granted for the federal for the FBI to go ahead and keep the ballots. But nobody said nothing. Nobody ain't.
Your issue is not so much with Tiffany. It's just that with the Board of Commissions allowing that to happen without proper protocol. Because it's
Board of Elections. The Board of Elections.
Board of Elections.
Absolutely. Right. Then they put they said, oh, well, we tried to contact her and we sent it to the wrong address. And so it was a glitch. Okay, well, this sounds familiar because this is the same thing that they're trying to say about the sheriff with me. And I don't mean to bring up my situation, but what y'all keep having these glitches in the system and this shouldn't be happening. Because they said the same thing when he filed the TPO on me is that, he filed it and he was supposed to take it out within 12 hours, but that was a glitch in the system. Oh, well, we were supposed to have notified her, but it was a glitch in the system. Everything is a glitch in the system. How's your system so glitched out that you had these?
This lady right here admitted that she spelled Tiffany Henyard's email address wrong. As opposed to her just having it saved already, sometimes it'll just auto-populate if you type it in once and send out an email. She said in the meeting last week that she typed in the email address wrong was a typo, and she tried to dress it up as. And that she didn't get the email. They failed to, send out the email because, they're incompetent. They're incompetent. So because of that email typo, she didn't get the email. We have a whole hearing, and then they have a hearing. Plenty of state law to utilize, plenty of variables and factors to consider. And it was a 3-1 vote where they still wanted her to stay on the ballot. question is, would that have been the case if she was running as a Democrat? That's what I'm curious to know. Let me just get to the next one here, because I just wanted to play the beginning part of
over the next 36 to 7.
Oh God! All right, wanted to play the beginning part of that, where she gave her remarks in the meeting. This is, I've never heard of this lady. Amy Jacobson. Yeah, God. From The Answer radio station something. She has a segment. And guess who called in? So I'm assuming she planned this out with an interview. What she did not do is her homework. So there were people who called in after this. I saw a little of that on Jay Witt's channel in his video, but I didn't see the beginning. I do know people called in after she was done and was like, no, she should not be embraced by. She asked the question if she being welcomed in by the Republican Party. And everybody was like, no. Yeah, you can't make this up. Except one person. Everyone else was like, no. What do you mean? Did you not know this? Like, she did not do any research at all. So we're going to check this out, y'all. Let's get to this. Hit the phone when you can hear.
Mayor of Democratic Dalton and now is a Republican. What was your aha moment, or how did you decide to switch parties?
I don't know. Did I miss something here?
Is the only way to protect our republic. It's time for
On the Fulton County Board. Here's a quick recap of that hearing.
I lost the election in February, so I was no longer the mayor.
But
Somebody else had won. It's just a matter of.
But when was your last day and the new mayor sworn in? Is my question.
The new mayor got sworn in May 5th.
Okay, so were you mayor till May 4th?
I was no longer serving in that capacity.
So the point of contention that people have is, she moved to Atlanta, signed a lease May 1st of 2025. It is now a year later, and the new mayor took office on May 5th. With more on this and everything else, we want to welcome to the program for the first time Tiffany Henyard, former mayor of Dalton, former Thornton Township supervisor. Good morning, Mrs. Henyard. How are you?
I'm okay. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
I'm just going to say this because I've been wanting to say this. I would hope, and I'm non-political, but I would hope that the Republican Party are not that desperate to sit here and to try to defend Tiffany Henyard. Not look up her past, not look up her record, all her old meetings, videos where she was horrible, court documents, lawsuit filings, judgments and rulings issued against her. And then try to say, oh, we want to welcome her in the Republican Party. I would hope they're not that desperate for Tiffany Henyard. I would like to hope that's the case. I could be wrong, but I would like to hope that the Republican Party is not this damn desperate.
I'm good. I'm going to call you Tiffany, though. Is that all right? And you can call me Amy?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So let's start with how one becomes the mayor of Democratic Dalton and now is a Republican. What was your aha moment, or how did you decide to switch parties?
Well, as everybody been hearing from me lately, I switched parties based on how the Democrats been moving. Their core values don't align with mine. So I switched because I love what the Republican Party represents, which is faith, family, community, policies. I care about those things so much that I really want to implement those things in the Democratic areas. Because right now, look how the Democrats are moving, and they don't have the things they need. So I want to bring those things to those communities that keep voting Democrat and having reached across the aisle to see what else is out there for them.
Yeah, and you're not alone. I mean, President Trump used to be a Democrat. I used to be a Democrat. I call myself a recovering Democrat. Yesterday, Alan Dershowitz, legal legend, he officially became a Republican, and he cited the Democratic Party's hostility toward Israel and a radical shift that he warns is bad for America. So do you think this whole woke thing, tampons in boys' bathrooms, men playing on women's sports, is that been the downfall of the Democrat Party?
I think so. I think they have a lot of issues and concerns that the people are now waking up to say, well, I don't want that. Or if my kid was involved, I would want to move a certain way. So I like the fact that people are actually waking up to the facts.
So how have you been received by the GOP about the Republican Party in Atlanta?
Well, I've been welcomed with open arms. They are the ones that have my paperwork.
Yo, she said she was welcomed with open arms. Lord have mercy. You would think they would not be this desperate. Don't we have a GOP governor in place? The governor is Republican, right? Oh, good grief. I wonder is he trying to meet with her?
To run for office, which you heard the chair speak to at a meeting.
Yeah. Well, why did you decide? First of all, why did you choose Atlanta? You could have moved anywhere. But what made you go to Atlanta?
Well, my guy Kamal, pretty much,
oh my God,
he kind of set everything up for us to transition. And we came out here and we went looking for different places and we ended up, I don't want to say unfortunately, but fortunately we ended up in Fulton County. Who would have thought? That's how you know it's God's design. Like, it's all about timing. Like, I never would have thought that.
And you set up a store first, the They New Wave Clothing Boutique. So you run that?
Yeah, the New Wave. You know, I'm real creative with wordplay as it relates to my name. So my name is Tiffany Henyard, so I put THA. So The New Wave Clothing. It's located at 54950 National in College Park. We are Unit B3. We open from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Of course, you know that's like an entertainment district over there. So everything started jumping off at night. So we open a little later than normal.
And you and I spoke yesterday. You said that it was some of your customers that convinced you to run for the 5th District Commissioner seat on the Fulton County Board.
Yes. Because a lot of people, when they come in the store, they didn't know who I was. So I love that part because it gave them opportunity to meet Tiffany Henyard.
Okay, stop. The store where it is majority Democrat. They did not go in there and tell her, yeah, you should run as a Republican. Are you kidding? Oh, she lying like hell. The location of where her store is, being in a majority Democratic area. It's funny how she lives near a whole bunch of Democrats, but doesn't live in an area populated by majority Republican. Because why not live in a district where it's majority Republican if you want to actually run and do good as a Republican? I'm just curious to know that. Just a question. No one went into her store. One of you all sent me a comment saying that people she go in, it's like a Goodwill and all she do is just walk around and follow you around. You can't make this up. One of y'all put it was just like a Goodwill and she just follow you around. Child, the GOP didn't file her paperwork. Not my guy. She called him my guy, y'all. Your married boyfriend, Siggy. Has she collected any money? Who knows? I was in the store. Don't nobody go in there. Nobody goes in there. People aren't going in there telling her to run as a Republican in this like Democratic area where the store is. But it's mighty funny how she doesn't live in a Republican majority area, nor does she have a store in a Republican majority area. Go figure. But she wants to represent a district that's majority Democrat. No, never mind the real challenge of running up against other Republicans, though. Because they will mollywop her. Oh, man. Is she going to do like a, what you call it? Like a, one of those Q&As or whatever, or debates. I would love to see her try to do a debate against another Republican. That would be epic. We would have a watch party on that. And I would laugh for hours and hours and hours. Super stupid. I would laugh at you for days to come if you did a debate against another Republican. Because you know the first thing they're going to say is that you barely mastered the English language.
What I stood for. So in talking to them, it's like, man, you really diverse in politics. You should run for office. I like your vision. I like where you're going with this. Won't you run? And I never really thought about that. No, I'm not going to run. All the way up until it was time to file for the qualifying week. And I decided to run. And not only that, the Republican Party reached out, and here we are.
Wow. No, I mean, people, one point of contention again was that you moved to Atlanta while you were still mayor of Dalton and still the Thornton Township supervisor. They said you got, this according to WGN, you got paid $12,000 from Dalton and $8,614 from Thornton Township. But a lot of people, folks, leave jobs and still get paid. They get paid either vacation time that's owed to them, or there's a severance, or they finish out, the month that you have assigned. So what happened here?
Yeah, for those that are entertaining the nonsense, that's just noise. It's a distraction to keep them away from the facts and the truth that Fulton County truly needs someone like Tiffany Henyard, because they are underserved communities and pretty much not getting the resources.
First of all, you can go from one job to another job getting a severance of some sort. However, when you're talking about holding an elected position, you must be a permanent resident of the district that you're representing. She was not only a mayor, but a supervisor of Thornton Township. She would have had to have been a permanent resident serving in those roles. So with her trying to run for office in Georgia, according to Georgia state law, you need to be a permanent resident. You cannot, according to Georgia state law, be a permanent resident of Georgia while holding office in a different state. It is that simple and clear. That is Georgia state law. Are we condoning criminal activity here? Because, breaking the law is a crime. Are we doing that? You have someone that proclaims to be a Republican trying to excuse someone trying to circumvent state law when it comes to being a permanent resident. It's so simple as Google search and reading. Reading is fundamental. It's fundamental. Just like how case law is not to be overwritten by what some director wants when it comes to clapping. That's not how the hell it works in the court of law. No one cares. She has to follow the law as well. And case law is as good as law. Perhaps it's the idea of case law that's not being well understood. So I would implore you to read case law about First Amendment and freedom of speech and expression when it comes to clapping in public hearing, in public meetings. It's permitted. The director can be overwritten because laws say so. Constitutional laws. You can't make this up. So while we're, when you're a permanent resident here and you're talking about, I want this time to count, me being a permanent resident here, to count towards the 12 months that's required in order for me to run for office, you cannot hold a position in another state, because that implies that you are a permanent resident of that state, because that's one of the requirements for you to hold office in that state. Most states have this same requirement. You need to be a permanent resident in order to hold office. And no one told her to get greedy and hold two offices at the same time. No one told her to do that. But she chose to do that. So if you're still getting paid, that means you're still holding the position. And that means that the time that you're claiming to be a permanent resident here should not have counted. It's that simple. At least one person who voted against her understood that concept, and it's based on state law. Like, the F we doing? This is insane. And this woman is trying to explain it around, and she's not a whole attorney. Okay, later.
What is that North Fulton get? South Fulton is being neglected. And right now, I am the one to stand in the fight for the people and make sure they get the resources needed. And also, to add to that, let's talk about TSA. TSA was not getting paid, right?
Right.
So Congress wasn't showing up to work. So when they try to deflect and say that I didn't come somewhere, I'm not entitled to miss a meeting. When people have missed meetings and gridlocked the government for several months, meaning Thornton Township board members. They gridlocked it for about 2 or 3 months and they ain't show up to a board meeting. So I don't try to entertain the small stuff because it's just noise.
So
I've always showed up and did my
She
job.
doesn't
yeah, and you're not going to pay the
laws 'cause
money
she
back,
doesn't
right? I mean,
understand.
somebody just suggested that you pay that money back.
That's someone's opinion. Everyone has an opinion. Don't make it true. Right now, I did my job to the fullest. I took care of the people, and that's the side that I want to show you guys currently now.
Yes.
And I keep stating I lost my seat
That
in
lady did
February.
no
The election,
homework.
the true election was February of 25.
Okay.
Another person.
That was a primary. If she had looked that up, she would have been able to negate that and say, no, that was primary. The actual general election was held in April? And then he was sworn in May. That was just the primary. So that's not true. But she didn't even look that up. To actually, you're talking about bringing facts. We all know Super Stupid's definition of facts is construed. I highly doubt she can spell the word. She doesn't understand what a fact is. But as opposed to people dumbing down to her level, why didn't you do your homework to say, no, the February election was the primaries. You lost there, but you still maintained the mayoral position and received a paycheck through May until he was sworn in. Whether you were there doing the job or not is irrelevant. Because to hold the position, period, means you need to be a permanent resident. And if this was about her residency being challenged, you cannot be a permanent resident of Georgia while holding a position in another state. Lord, we thank you for laws. We thank you for laws. We just pray that people start reading them. In Jesus' name, amen. It can't make sense.
One. So after that, I was just sitting duck. I couldn't do nothing else.
Did you keep your security detail?
No, I didn't have anything else. Nothing.
Wow. And have you gotten threats? I mean, I know you're out there, you've got billboards, and a lot of politicians, by the way, have billboards. So there's one of Brandon Johnson when you drive into O'Hare Airport. So please spare me. And it used to be the Rod Blagojevich tollway system. So, I hate that people crying like, oh, but she put up billboards and she wasted taxpayer dollars on that. No, you were promoting programs. I get that.
Correct.
But what is the biggest misconception?
No, she wasn't. See, once again, had she even did her homework and looked at what was on the billboard, she will know she wasn't promoting anything. She put her face on billboards. She was promoting herself, not programs or services. She was the billboard. And then she charged taxpayers for that bullshit. So they had to pay to look at billboards with her face all over the billboards and banners. Banners. She also didn't want to pay the vendor for banners. And when they tried to come and reclaim their property, she had Dalton police come out like they were going to do something. Wanted people to get locked up because they came out and was reclaiming their property. And then when they get on the news, oh, it's just noise. They lying. No, she's delusional and belongs on another planet. Why are we letting an alien do this?
Tiffany Henyard.
That people feel or felt because of the smear campaign and the fake news that I didn't care.
Yeah, everything's fake news.
I'm the number one fan of the people. I care for people. I care for development and improvement.
That's go-to.
I feel that they didn't look at me being a mom. I am a single parent with a 7-year-old, and people didn't see the heart of Tiffany Henyard because of all the noise, all of the smear campaign. But when you go talk to people in Dalton, and I'm not talking about the handful of people that they go find to do an interview, I'm talking about the people that truly love Tiffany Henyard, that truly been there since the Shaw regime.
This is not about love. We could care less about that nonsense. You're here in the city of Atlanta trying to represent Republicans in a race, in a district you know nothing about. And here you are in this radio station interview where this woman has not researched a damn thing about you. Which begs the question, are the Republicans this desperate? Where you're sitting here trying to dumb down to Tiffany Henyard's level? Are you that desperate? Is there no one else? Like, this can't be it. Oh, Jay Witt. No, he's going to be like, no, Lady Luck. We're not desperate. Cheryl said we're not endorsing her ass.
And know the things that I've came and created and changed for their betterment. One of them being the ice skating rink, just ice rink. Them kids love that. They out there all the time skating. It's just things that bring families together is what I care about. Teaching your kid how to swim. They want to open the pool up and let the kids swim in the pool. And we own the pool. It's just like little things that people didn't pay attention to, but they are gridlock government and point the finger at one person.
Hold on. This is so. Brandon Johnson has a welcome to Chicago. I don't care. I don't live in Chicago. Same way Andre Dickens has a welcome to Atlanta at Hartsfield. What is this lady talking about? Tiffany Henyard had banners going down the whole street. Multiple banners. Where she didn't pay the vendor. You know, because the problem was her not paying the vendor and getting board approval before she put up the damn banners in the first damn place. I'm sorry, is it the English? Do I need to speak another language? Is it another language you understand best? Let me know. We have interpreters and translators. I'm just help me out here. You talking to me? What am I talking about? Or are you talking about her? Help me out. I want to make sure I'm not. She put up banners. I don't care who put up banners. When it's not approved, you don't get to put that up. And then she never paid them. She never paid the vendor for those things. And then tried to have them arrested. What are you talking to me? Oh, okay. Thank you. I want to make sure. I'm about to say, wait a minute, because we already had the other one in here talking about, oh, it's the board meters wanted order or something. Never mind case law that would override her. You can't make this up. Got people coming in not just refusing to read. And Tiffany Henyard don't believe that she's a cult leader. I've been reporting on this woman for what, 3 years? She's a cult leader. Y'all, she's a cult leader. All she does is talk like a cult leader. Y'all don't believe anything else except what I say. That's it. Please don't believe anything else. Don't believe what you see. Don't believe what you hear. Don't read books. Don't read anything online or in the news. Just listen to me and just trust what I say and no one else. That's cult speak. That's cult speak. And they act like the Hentards act like, because I call them the Hentards. They act as if there's nothing wrong with her saying that to them. That's a whole nother level of mind control. The power of persuasion being weaponized and abused. But what she's telling you, don't believe anything else but what I say. But do your own research, though. But don't believe any other research. Just me. I'm all the research you need. Just me. As a matter of fact, why don't you bow down and worship me at your feet while you're at it? She might as well go there. She might as well go all the way there. Because, I mean, with 2 seconds from Tiffany Henyard telling people to bow down and worship her at her feet. And they want to talk about God. I'm God's chosen. Next thing you know, she'll be saying, I'm God. Because that's the MO for all cult leaders. They go from, let me weaponize Christianity and religion, to now I've become this religion. So next thing you know, she'll be purporting herself to be God. She already tried to compare herself to Jesus. You know, they talked about Jesus too, but you're not Jesus. No reverence or respect for God at all. But she weaponizes it because she knows, well, if I'm going to get a bunch of people to take my side on something and they rely heavily on their faith, let me weaponize that. And let me use that to my advantage. And let me abuse it to the point where once I get people good in my graces, then I'm going to just start saying things and throwing out hints to have them believe that I'm Messiah, that I'm God, that I'm just like any other cult leader. Jim Jones did the same thing. Candace does the same thing. Umar Johnson does the same thing. All these cult leaders. Scientology, they do the same thing. Nature Boy did the same thing. We that's how we look at it, is the whole pattern of behavior of cult leaders. Because it's so easy for people to become cult leaders, especially utilizing social media and the internet. Look how easy it is for her to sit here and to weaponize Christianity and then telling people not to read, not to do research, but do your own research. Just make sure what you're watching and looking at and reading comes from me. All your sources should come from me. All the facts, I told you, if you want the tea, get it from me. That's what she says. And the Henyards is slow, just being brainwashed year after year after year. Every time she says something stupid, they try to justify it, as opposed to saying, no, we're not going to do that. We always need other sources out here to compare, because if we're just listening to you, of course you think you're always right. But when you're wrong, who's here to correct you? Once again, she wants no one above her. She believes she's beyond reproach, beyond the rule of law, beyond correction. This narcissistic personality where it's all about her and no one else. No one's telling her to run as a Republican for anything. But she wants people to believe that she's being adored and worshipped. That people are coming in and just giving her kudos, patting her on the back, telling her to do all of this, when she could just say, no, I just wanted to do it. But see, you don't get brownie points for that, right? You don't get sympathy if you just say, I just wanted to run, see if I can win. You get more sympathy when it's my community is encouraging me to do it. People are coming in my store and buying skateboards and Kamal's jeans and shit, and they want me to do it. But yet and still, when something happens, it was all me. I did this. No one else. I'm the only one that can make this happen. I'm the only one that can bring this change about. She has said these things in videos that are still available for anyone to watch and listen to. And this host of this radio station failed to do basic research before she conducted this damn interview. It's a disgrace to journalism. An absolute disgrace. Super stupid is a female Umar Johnson. Yep.
But yet they're not giving you your resources to survive in the community.
Yeah, no, for people to understand who you are. You have a daughter, 7 years old. She's enrolled in school there in Fulton County. And are you pleased with her education so far?
They sure have.
Well, yes, I am. So far, I put her in a top tier school here. But for other schools or people that can't do exactly that, it's sad because they're just passing kids and they're reading below grade average. So it's just things that I would like to try to fix and try to help with, even though that's the school board. It's a different board from the one I'm running for, but I still want to have my input because I want them to have the same things that my kid will have access to.
Right, and that's fine. And a lot of politicians, including, well, all Democrats. Only one that I know that has sent their kids to public school is Brandon Johnson. But anyway, so I wanted to ask you about your father because, unfortunately, you're like a lot of Chicagoans. You've been touched by violence. And
so she can give a fact about Brandon Johnson, but she can't give one fact about her to debunk her on a primary. She got to say, no. The February election was the primary. That's not correct. I have it up right here. She can correct on that. Are you serious?
Your father was shot, and just can you walk us through when this happened, where it happened, how he's doing, and has anybody been caught?
Sure. So my father was shot in Chicago about, I say, 3 weeks ago. Basically, the area that they were located at is behind a building, and that's where they park at in the back. So the individual, in this story that they told us, you know me, I still have questions, was shooting from across the way at someone else. And my father was in the crossfire, got hit. Everybody else dropped to the floor, of course, but I guess he didn't move fast enough and it hit him. I got the call. I was at the store when I got the call. It was really, really emotional and it was tough. That was a tough month.
But he's doing okay. I mean, he was shot in the face or the neck or?
Yeah, he did. He did get shot. People got the details wrong,
Where?
so I don't really want to
Okay, correct it. Is she going to correct it or no?
point more out. So he's ready to speak on that, but he is doing better. He's out. He's recovering.
Okay, so she never corrected it. People got the details wrong. Okay, but give the correct details. Well, I'll let him speak more on that. What the hell? So why even bring this up? Like, why say that people got the details wrong if you're not correcting it right now? You know, wait till he gets better. That's fine. Is she gonna move him down here to Georgia? Is she moving him to Georgia? If that's the case, then that's what she needs to do so she can put him in a better and safe environment. Just move your father to Georgia. Let him come move in with you and Siggy and your child, and that way he can be there and be safe. I wouldn't even want him to stay up in Chicago in an area where I know that's happened. I was like, all right, Dad, you might want to come move down here with me because that's enough. We're not doing this. And if something happens, you got to go up there and fly up there back and forth and all that. Now you moving down here. I mean, why not just move him down here?
He is going through therapy currently. I did write a letter saying Brandon Johnson and the governor should allow Trump to come into Chicago because Chicago is a war zone, AKA, you know, they call it Chirac, and that is true. Every day someone's getting shot. Some family member is grieving, and I stand against violence. I'm not for it. I've always been against it. I held Stop the Violent marches right when I became mayor of Dalton. So I'm real big on please put the guns down.
Right. And you wanted them to call up.
I don't understand this. Thank you so much, Chicago. I appreciate the $10 super. Thank you. Good commentary. I just subbed to your channel. Thank you so much. God bless your heart, honey. And I'm glad you clarified who you were referring to in there. As you can see up higher in the chat, I already had somebody come in talking about some direct need to maintain order. They can't infringe upon free speech. They cannot do that. Don't give a damn what they want to try to do, but you know, whatever. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, oh man, y'all, it's just something else. So is she gonna is she gonna move her father here? Super stupid. I know you listening. If you care about your dad and his safety and well-being, just move him down to Georgia. Move him into your house. You know, let people see you taking care of your dad. Since you're using his situation as one of your talking points. Because you don't want to clarify exactly where he was shot or anything, which is fine. But yet you want to utilize that situation as a way to say, oh, it's too much crime and this, that, and the third. Well, until it gets better, why not move him into your home with you and Siggy? Why not move your dad to Atlanta and let him stay with you and Siggy? You know, your guy that's still married. Can't make this up.
The National Guard, correct?
Yes. To this day, I still stand on it. They still need to come into Chicago. I think that they're afraid that the president is going to show the people what it looks like to feel safe.
Yeah, look at Washington, D.C. I mean, my goodness, that place has changed. Crime is down, 35%? And people feel safe walking to work and walking to the train station. But we don't have that here. How is crime in Dalton? Do you think the National Guard needs to go into there?
I think once he strategizes a plan, meaning the president, and come through, I think he should go everywhere. I don't think he should just stop with Chicago. I know Chicago needs it, I would say first. But I think that it should be scattered throughout. I was welcoming him with open arms when I was the mayor of Dalton. So I'm all about relationships. People attack, and no matter what, he's our president. So we should have a working relationship with him despite our differences.
Yeah. I wanted to real quickly, I know we're up against the clock here, but talk about Mayor Lightfoot. I mean, she was hired to lead that panel investigating financial mismanagement. What is your reaction to that?
She's a bomb. She's a bomb looking for crumbs. And they bought her in. And
this
that was
is
like
how
a political
this woman
statement.
talks.
They bought her in, and she got out as the mayor of Chicago. You guys didn't want her. Mm-hmm. And she had her scrutiny, but yet all of a sudden she's the great white hope. Like, come on. It should not have been that. She should stay in her lane and not indulge in the politics of Dalton, because that's what they use it for. When she did her report, of course, like we knew, like I was telling everyone, no, that's not going on. But because the news and everybody was pushing this negative narrative of people doing this and doing that, I don't touch money. I don't touch checks. I don't touch anything. That everybody kept saying the opposite of. So when she concluded her report, she said nothing was founded. But yet they pay her $400 an hour. Like, come on, but y'all claiming broke.
Well,
like,
you know,
okay, that's a lie. Because she had a card. She had credit cards. She was once upon a time the only signatory on a bank account with Fifth Third Bank. She had the clerk removed from the bank account. And according to court documents, her dumbass, as opposed to letting a whole trial go forth, when the board of trustees sued her for that, decided to just negotiate and allow the pro temp at the time, Jason, to be one of the main signatories, and they had to put the clerk back on the bank account. This is all in court documents. I can't, I don't want to make this shit up. I'm gonna be honest. She went into Fifth Third Bank, had the clerk removed with bank documents, meaning she had to sign bank documents that are documents that can be used in the court of law. To have the clerk removed, violating local ordinance and state law without the clerk's knowledge, without the board's approval, and then signed multiple checks to vendors who did not have contracts, who did not go through a bidding process at all in accordance with federal law and state law, and paid out contractors thousands of dollars with only her signature. All of that shit was illegal. She was sued so much, it didn't make sense. Y'all, we went over so many court documents. And now, her two best buddies have flipped for the FBI. One of which helped her manage credit cards, made purchases for meals and flights and hotels with the credit card he had. Keith Freeman, you dumbass, come to the front. All outlined in various court documents. She was sued so much. I mean, it was almost like the background information was so redundant because it was running on top of each other. She had a credit card and was the only signatory for an account that belonged to the village of Dalton, and thought she had the absolute power to remove the clerk off of the account because she was the damn mayor. That was her excuse. She said that in a video. Can y'all believe that? She said that in a video. She confirmed doing it in a video, and then got mad when she agreed to settle and to allow the mayor pro temp to be listed as one of the two signatories on the bank account, because local ordinance states that they have to have, one other person, that being the clerk and either the mayor or the mayor pro temp. There must be two people, but it can't be more than that. She added, get this, not only did she remove the clerk, she added two other people. One of them was named Janice something, and then somebody else. Their roles did not require for them to be signatories or to have any access to the village bank account at all. She added two people who did not have standing to be added to the bank accounts. And she had to sign bank documents for that to happen. So guess what? All of that can be used against her. Please believe that the FBI has that. That's bank fraud. She did not get board approval for that. We went over those court documents. Oh, my dear Lord. We went over it. And the whole thing is, this stuff is public information. Why didn't this interviewer research, take an hour out your day, watch a few videos, go over some of this stuff, read some of the court documents, something. Say, I need to know who the hell I'm dealing with here. Because all of this is just going over her head. And it's disgraceful. It's embarrassing as hell. It's like, are you mean to tell me? So the facts that are out there, you're not interested in that? Because somehow it doesn't paint her in the best limelight? Who gives a damn? And yet people want to compare her to the average person. No. Because the average person would be in jail for doing a stunt like that. Removing someone off of a bank account, just adding 2 random people to it without the board's approval and all of that. Anyone else would have went to jail. She had to get an agreement made. She had to come to an agreement to allow the pro temp mayor at the time, Jason, to be added to the account so she could be removed. And what does she do? Go to the next meeting saying they took me off. They removed me. Can y'all believe it? No, you agreed upon that in court. See, the way she is in court is not the same way she is when she's out here in front of cameras in those town hall meetings on her YouTube channels and social media. The way she acts in court is completely different. That's why those court documents are imperative, because you get a whole nother person, whole different Tiffany Henyard. Because one thing narcissists don't like is to have their power challenged by someone that has more than them. And a judge in a court of law can sit her ass down, rightfully so. And they should have. There's been so many times where a judge should have held her in contempt. They should have sanctioned her and fined her, and at the very least given her 30 days in jail for contempt. Especially for direct criminal contempt. No, you're going to jail for 30 days. The average person would have been in jail for 30 days. That's why I hear it when people try to compare, like, oh, well, everybody's done this and that. No, everybody has not done the shit she's done. Cut that nonsense out. Because you're nullifying her criminal activity. Outlined in court documents. Who else has been held in direct criminal contempt of court? Anybody else in the chat ever been held in direct criminal contempt of court? Because I've never been held in direct criminal contempt of court. Anyone else? Hit the 4 if you've ever been held in direct criminal contempt of court. Hit the 5 if you've not. Hit the 5 if you've never had a judge tell you that you're in direct criminal contempt of court. Hit the 4 if you have. I'm not going to bash it. I just want to know. Because the Hentards would love for you to think that Tiffany Henyard is no different than anyone else. Oh, okay. We'll challenge that shit all day. Anyone else ever been held in direct criminal contempt of court? Please let me know. 4 for a yes, 5 for no. 6 is of a hell no. I've never been held in direct criminal contempt of court. I'm going to leave a 6. Hell no. That's never happened to me. The hell? Hell no. I would never ever put a judge in that position to have to tell me I'm going to hold you in direct criminal contempt of court. I'm sorry, you go do what? No. No, I don't want to go to jail. I'm going to pass out. have a whole breakdown. How you doing, Miss Kogo? How you doing, honey? What's going on, Lord? Caleb? Oh, Lord. I will cry. Y'all, I will cry. I will start having convulsions. I'm going to start jumping all over. Listen, they're going to have to call 911 on my ass. You talking about direct? You want to hold me in direct criminal contempt? Oh, sweet Jesus. I'm coming, Elizabeth. I'm coming, Elizabeth. I'm doing the whole Fred Sanford bit. I'm going to put my hand over my heart and wave my other hand in the air. I'm coming, Elizabeth. Oh, it's a big one. Y'all, it's a big one. My heart's about to pop out my chest. Call 911. Call everybody. The hell? They're trying to lock me up, Lord. Child, please call everybody. Man, take me to the nearest ER right now. I'm dying. Are you kidding me? Somebody want to hold me in direct criminal contempt of court? Super stupid has been held in direct criminal contempt of court. That is not something everyone has experienced. I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of people trying to compare her to everybody like she's normal. That is not normal. And yet they want to overlook it like it's not a big deal. That is a very big deal. Since when did we start scoffing at laws and stuff? What the... Y'all, my buck said, please save me. This is stuff that this woman could have looked up, and she failed. She failed to Google this stuff.
Political to bring in a black woman, right? I mean, you saw that, right?
Girl.
Yeah.
So it was non-conclusive. You weren't to what did the report say exactly?
I don't know the words to be exact to recite it because people like to be sure. Like it didn't say that, so I just know that she didn't find anything, of course, because there was nothing to find. Again, anybody that understands how politics work, there's a mayor, there's a board, there's a clerk, you have the lawyers, and then you have finance directors, you have HR directors, you have an administrative person, a VA. So you have all those things in play that actually run the day-to-day operation. A mayor and board members, we are.
Yeah, but you oversee everybody else. You're the mayor. I mean, you are the boss, are you not? So are you the boss or no? Because she got mad when they, took her to court about that bank account thing. And then came back and lied and said, they took me off the account. No, you agreed to remain off of it because you should have never taken the clerk off of the account because you violated state law and local ordinance. And then you added two other random people. It was like a Janice Freeman and Janice something and somebody else. You added two random people to it that did not belong on the bank account. Their job titles, according to local ordinance, does not qualify them to be added to the bank account. Even the job title is added to the local ordinance. We went over the court documents. So she trying to say court documents align like hell too? I would love for her to come out and say that. Please challenge me, super, on saying that court documents are lying on you. Where you ended up agreeing in a settlement to avoid having a trial and hearings and all this stuff because you know that the trustee board and their attorneys were willing to get those bank documents that you completed and to use it against you in court, where you definitely lied on those bank documents. And it was the bank that notified the board in the village of Dalton. Can you believe it? She didn't tell them nothing.
Are the body. The mayor is the head. The body controls the purse. They the one vote to pay things.
She had a credit card and a checking account in her name.
The public, they just hear a story like, oh, yeah, they did it. And they don't fact check. And that's what I want to clear up. I want people to fact check everything that's going on instead of just listening to hearsay. And that's why in this new race, I will show people what's been going on. I will give them facts as I've always done in the past. But this time I think they will listen.
Now, one question from a texter from 217. Why did you endorse all Democrats in Illinois' primary in March? First of all, is that true? And if so,
what do you mean is it true?
We're always putting a ticket together. As it relates to the ticket that I placed together, most of those people on the ticket is running unopposed. I said that in one of my lives just to explain it to people how it works. And people are like, I'm not voting for this person.
She could have just put Republicans on there. She had all Democrats. What is she talking about? Just own up to it, you moron. Oh my God, this lady didn't look this up.
I'm not voting for that person. I told them so, then don't vote for them because at the end of the day, they're running unopposed. So whether you vote for them or not, they will win the seat. So that's pretty much what that really entails. People call me, look to me to give them direction that are Democrats, and that is like the residents. So all my seniors, they needed direction. So I will sit down, go through it, research people for them, and I say, these are the better candidates.
Yeah.
And that's what they went with. Yeah, so that was the reason why. I still have friends that's Democrats, so, I'm not going to not still talk to them or...
But that's the thing. You could have added Republicans to your ticket. It was her and all women, and they were all Democrats. But she could have added one or two Republicans if she wanted. That was her choice. What the hell?
Either for just because I'm Republican. It's just like
this is painful.
you got a team, I got a team. We go back and forth over who we like, but we still friends at the end. So
right. All right. And then is there anything before we let you go here, any regrets that you have from your time as the Dalton mayor or as a supervisor for Thornton Township? Any of the trips, you know?
No regrets, just lessons, you know. That everything was a test, and now I'm able to tell my testimony. And just to give a little light to trips, people put it in, like I said, in headlines as though we was doing something wrong. Whereas we have a budget to travel as every other elected official does. But they put it in my case as she did lavish spending. She went on this trip. She ate at this place. Like, stop it. Everybody has a budget to basically go out of town to a conference, just so people understand the difference, because they call it trips, but it's conferences. And you get to go there and you learn or bring different ideas back to your city. And guess what? I'm not the only one that went. My entire board went. But yet I was the headliner of every single thing that they thought was a problem, just to make me look bad and to go against my reputation, my character. And that's what I didn't like or don't like about politics. I don't like that.
Well, I got to tell you, because I've had to reinvent myself a few times, and, you know, the bills keep coming, even though you don't have a job. And then when you have kids, I mean, you have mouths to feed. I mean, it's, you know, but I'm glad. I mean, I truly believe that people can switch over to different parties, that their values can shift and change as they get older. But you're sure you're not doing this just for publicity. This is in your heart that you're a Republican now.
Of course, think about it. Me for publicity, as though I need to do anything for it. It just comes naturally. I could just go outside, or I could go and work at Walmart. It's going to make the news. I'm just being funny. I'm not working at Walmart.
No, I know. It's true, though. But that's because you're good looking and you're charismatic, and we don't, you know. Yeah. And you have been, you know, I look at this list of alleged wrongdoings, and I know, because I've been the victim of it too, the you know, makeup lies. And you don't think it's true, and then it happens to you, and then you're just flabbergasted. Like, but they know my number. They know where I live. They could have just asked me the truth.
Yes.
And they decided not to do it because they just stuck with their narrative.
Correct. It's a paid narrative, a paid attack on my character. Because think about it. Who gets that much?
Who's getting paid? Who's getting paid again? Super stupid. I want you to know this. Hear me and hear me clearly. I will say exactly what I want. The end. And I will do this shit for free, girl, and laugh all the way. Sleep peacefully tonight and everything. Kamal and his boobs do not scare me. Tell him to put on a bra. Can't make this up.
I'm getting more news coverage than the president. Make that make sense. Yeah. And I'm a local. So I just want people to give me
you're
the
not getting more news coverage than the president.
Did
this woman not hear that? She just said I get more news coverage than the president. Did y'all hear that? Are you? Oh, this is priceless. Hold on.
Need you for clicks and views. If anybody want to support me, please go to Tiffany4Fulton.com.
Who need help for clicks and views?
So I just want people to give me the opportunity to be heard. Give me the opportunity to tell my story from my mouth, not anyone else's mouth.
And if we say that you're lying, we don't owe you that. The end. Then you just have to get over it, you know, because no one owes you an opportunity. The hell is wrong with you?
And then just pay attention to the heart of Tiffany Henyard, the soul of Tiffany Henyard, and come and do the meet and greet. That way you can get a different perspective than what's being showcased, like you said, because you're good looking and they need you for clicks and views. If anybody want to support me, please.
They make it seem like people are getting tens of thousands of views on this. I wish my videos were getting those types of views. And it would be well worth it. Then I'll just keep laughing at your ass. I mean, it would just motivate me to keep laughing at you, super stupid. You do understand that, right? I wouldn't switch sides because I'm getting 50,000 views as opposed to 5,000. Or 500. My thought is going to remain the same. That's it. Because you don't pay my bills. You can't make this up. Well, she's the one that's been hiatus for almost a year. When she came back out talking about I'm running for something, when was the last time I really did a video on her? Girl, if you don't kick rocks.
Go to Tiffany4Fulton.com. Again, it's Tiffany and that's FOR. Then Fulton.com. I do have a campaign page. I am raising funds to run for office. My election is May 19th. It is a primary election. And that's another thing. I want to take up all your time, but trying to get on the ballot. At the end of the day, I met every single qualification there was to say I can run for office. But yet I had to go through the clicks and views, the entertainment, the noise, for whatever reason, to paint me as a bad person. And it's not true.
Were you nervous at that hearing?
In the beginning, I would say I was nervous only because I didn't know what powers to be was in the work. I've seen elections where people come in, or I say election hearings, where people come in and it's supposed to be one thing, and then everybody votes the opposite way, and the fact be right there, and then they have to go and appeal it and waste money, and that's another strategy they use to get people out of races. Because if you kick them off the ballot, most people won't go and appeal. Because either A, don't have the funds, B, they're just like, oh, I'm tired, I'm not going to go through that. It's a number of things of why they don't do it. But I want to expose the people that's doing all the wrongdoing so that people can now understand where to be.
Who's the people doing all the wrongdoing here? You say you want to expose somebody doing the wrongdoing. You were voted in 3-1 to remain on the ballot. So who are you exposing with that? Who got exposed? I mean, they voted 3-1. It wasn't like it was split and then they had to get a tiebreaker. It was 3-1. What do you mean?
Okay. Again, it's Tiffany for Fulton.com. Tiffany, F-O-R, Fulton.com. Tiffany Henyard, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, good Lord. That was painful.
Real Story with Jeannie Ives and Amy Jacobson.
Oh, that was painful.
A quick and
starting at
4 more.
I think at the end she had
whatever
people call in as well.
Noon to 1. The fifth district commissioner in Fulton County, that's Atlanta, Georgia. Let's go to Keith somewhere in Illinois. Good morning, Keith. How are you? Are you there?
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
What's going on?
Nothing much. I just wanted to touch on a couple issues, especially about the travel. As most people know that's involved in politics, that people usually have expense accounts, and they can also go on annual conferences for different things, be it business, whatever the conference.
Is he going to say anything about it being approved or charged to the correct expense account? You know, because he's not in finance. He's also, who is this?
Conferences referencing. I find it very strange that so much attention was brought to the travel of Tiffany Henyard, but yet right now the new Thornton Township Board has went on approximately 4 or 5 conferences, and not a mention of the amount of money that they have spent at all. Everything
Who
seems
is
like.
So why don't you just speak on it? He calling in trying to defend her, but just speak on the expenses that the new board is doing. This is some clown shit. What grown man is going to call in and simp for another woman like this? All these simps for these weird-ass cult leaders. And yet, you're not speaking on what they're doing up there. Then speak on it. Who's stopping you? No, I'm only going to say that if it means I'm defending super, you know, because I'm her biggest simp.
Straight out political hit. I actually had to live through it.
Oh my God.
So,
are you related to her? Are you guys friends, or do you live in Dalton?
No, I don't live in Dalton. I lived in Harvey. I was the manager of the food pantry. I was brought in by Tiffany.
That was Keith. Oh, that's Keith McChicken Nugget. He's still simping for her. Hard and heavy, I see. Your wife should be mad at you for doing this. This is the dumbest thing ever. You did not need to call in to say any of this when you provided zero context, and you still failed to admit that her travel was either not approved or charged to. She traveled and charged it to Thornton Township when it should have been charged to the village of Dalton. Are you not going to say that at all? Because, I mean, that was covered in the news and people can read about it. They act as if people are obligated to believe them over sound, factual information. They can just Google and read for themselves. Like, no one owes you that. No one owes you the benefit of the doubt. He is weird as hell. He simps for this woman for no reason. He must like her or something. What's wrong with him?
Oh, okay.
Even if you look at that food pantry right now, the quality of food has dropped. The amount of people that they're servicing has dropped. One thing that I can definitely say about Tiffany is that when it came to service, she was hard to beat.
All right, Keith. Well, thank you for listening. I appreciate your comments. And you're right. I mean, Mayor Johnson will just jet off to go to anti-Kings protest or protesting the State of the Union. And he doesn't even know how many tens of thousands he just spent taking him and his staff and his security details. Because I was at a press conference and I asked him and he just went, I don't know. He didn't know the answer. So
she talking about Mayor Johnson in Chicago, where they have a bigger budget and all that. And she just cut him off. All right, thank you. Yeah, this dude is a simp. He's just sitting here sipping hard. How much is she paying you, Keith McChicken Nugget? You don't have to act as if you're connected to her hip. Yeah, keep riding that wave. She want to talk about us getting views off of her? No, Keith McChicken Nugget is getting views off of you. He's going out of his way to do it too. He's calling in a whole news stations he doesn't even know anything about. He lives in Harvey calling into something AM 560 in the answer and is not talking about anything that's going on with the current administration. He's just trying to defend her. That's so weird. And his ass is married.
Oh, thank you so much for your time and thank you for your phone call. I appreciate it. Let's go to Karen in the South Suburbs. Good morning, Karen.
Well, hello. This is Karen Hicks. I know Tiffany personally. I know Keith Price personally. Been out in Dublin since the 80s. Had one of the largest transportation companies. Keith Price and Tiffany Henyard has always been a part of the community, period. Riley Rogers is the real crook out there in Dalton, okay? He hired me. He thought I would play the game. I didn't go along with it. Of course, he fired me. I have documentation. I even have a very good friend that told me he would not have fired her if she was not my friend. Let me just say this. The Democratic Party in the state of Illinois is an insult.
Well, are you going to become a Republican now, like Tiffany?
I've always been a Republican. My father told me in 1983, you'll look up and you'll see a bunch of black people in political positions and the black communities will be impoverished. I'm looking at it today. Okay, it's sad because most of my people don't understand business, period. Tiffany was great for the community, but she wouldn't play the game. And I'll say this to those that live in Thornton Township. It's an insult. It's an insult that Napoleon got.
It's an insult to be told that you're held in direct criminal contempt of court. And it's an insult that the judge did not lock her ass up. Because anyone else would have been locked up. That's an insult. We want to talk about all the things that's insulting to us. That's it. An unfair application of law. It is an insult to remove somebody off of a bank account and then go to a meeting and then lie and say they took you off when you agreed to remain off because you effed up. Signing bank documents and having someone removed against state law and local ordinance. It's an insult to see someone so willing to break laws and think they're supposed to get away with it. That's an insult. And then the lack of reading amongst the Hentards. They don't read court documents at all. They don't read them because they don't understand it. But they don't read them either. They don't even try. Because they'll see that information in court documents. She's a whole different person in court. Keith McChicken Nugget should know something about that. I mean, he's, squabbled up behind her in court once or twice. But who is this person here? You can't just go in and all good and no bad and then forget court documents exist to debunk you. At least be transparent in your assessment. And be rational. No one is all good. The hell? So never mind all the laws broken in court documents. They just gonna ignore that shit? Oh, okay.
With that bogus type of voting.
Oh, Lord,
and I just say this. The Democratic Party are a bunch of crooks. Go do everybody's books and you'll see every one of them have birthday parties off of taxpayers' money.
Okay.
They I got a person that said they allow somebody to come in their community because their daughter liked them. We better wake up and understand. So when it comes to Tiffany, Tiffany's always been a people person. She's always been a sharp dresser. She's always had her hair done. So she didn't need to steal money to do any of that. You all have a great day.
Thanks, Karen. Thanks for the phone call and for the passion. Let's go to Bill in Hinsdale, who has a different take on this. Hi, Bill.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I hate to say it. I feel terrible that the woman's father was shot. That's the only thing I feel sorry for. She was a crook. The evidence is against her like you wouldn't believe. And I hate when people commit crimes and then they're all of a sudden the victim. She's going away and she switched parties because she wants a pardon from Donald Trump down the road. Period. Full stop.
Well, she hasn't been charged with anything yet. I mean,
she's under FBI investigation. No one says she was charged, lady. But you also forget all the things that she's done that a judge in a court of law has ruled on. Yeah, because she hasn't read any of that shit at all. And trust and believe the FBI will factor in all of those other lawsuits, court filings, anything where, especially where it shows criminal behavior. Like having someone, she has no idea how serious bank fraud is. She'll learn. But she was charged with direct criminal contempt of court. How does that not count? Oh, she doesn't know that's a charge. Oh, okay. She didn't know that was a charge. You can be charged with that. I don't think this lady knows what a charge is. Boy, this is sad to see. She could have just did a Google search on Tiffany Henyard. Nothing at all. So you can sit here and say she hasn't been charged with anything with a blessed assurance. But you could not research when the primaries were last year to correct her when she said that I didn't win in February. You didn't win the primary, but you were still in the role. There lies the difference. You could correct her on that. But you can say this with a blessed assurance. But she got charged with direct criminal contempt of court. That was a charge. The hell?
She will be. I know the prosecutor, Bert Olson. She will be.
All right.
You can put that on your breaking news. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Bill, for the phone call. Appreciate it. Now let's go because it is Edgar County Watchdog. Actually, let's squeeze in these two calls before we get to John Kraft and Kirk Allen. And they are the two who broke this story, by the way. Let's go to Robert in Bloomingdale real quick. Hi, Robert.
Yeah, how you doing? I got to tell you, you got to only look at her track record. You only got to look at what she's done for Dalton, which is absolutely nothing. And look at Governor Spamberger. My friends in Georgia, don't do it. You don't know what you're signing up for there. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate it. Ron on the South Side. Hi, Ron. How are you?
Hey, Amy, excellent interview. Yeah, real quick. I would have liked a better response when you asked her about Mayor Lightfoot's investigation. She said that she didn't know the word. She should figure that out. And lastly, when she was talking about becoming a Republican, she just denounced the Democrat. I would have wanted to hear something about what is the appealing about Republican Party. When I hear blacks, they want to become Republicans, not just because you denounce the what are some of the core values? Policy, not politics. So, but an excellent interview, Amy, and thank you very much for having her.
Oh, in case he didn't know, Super Stupid doesn't have a platform or a policy or anything. So her coming up with that is not going to happen. Because I've said that myself. And I'm apolitical. What is her policies? What is her platform? Does she even know what the issues are in District 5? This helper said that there are no good parks in Fulton County. And then we pulled up in the last live stream, I pulled up video where I covered her being at Centennial Park. You know, very good park in Fulton County. Her and Siggy out there, he wearing his capri pants. They had a stand somewhere doing something. They got mad at that. I can't believe people taking pictures of me. But she's the one that wants to be in the limelight. She wants to be in the news more than the president of the United States. Girl, get the F out of here. And she can't give one policy that she wants implemented for a platform to improve the lives of those living in District 5. Something she knows nothing about. Unbelievable. People coming into her store telling her to run as a Republican. But the people in District 5 aren't talking to you. Funny how that works. You haven't done anything in that district at all. You out there going door to door, asking them, hey, what are some of the things you would like for me to address as your Republican candidate? I dare you. Super Stupid, go door to door. Hand out flyers and ask them, what are some of the things you would like for me to address as your Republican candidate? You know, I was the one voted as worst mayor in America. Yeah, that's me. Now I'm here trying to be your Fulton County Commissioner. Go on out there and go door to door. Super stupid. That'll be funny. Go live stream and make sure you record yourself.
Great. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate it. Edgar County Watchdog, John Kraft and Kirk Allen, they're joining us now because they originally broke this story. So should we Republicans welcome Tiffany Henyard into the party? Let's start with you, John.
Absolutely not. Just, you can look at her recent history in Dalton and Thornton Township and the fact that, even though she says that she's a Republican now, she posted on her Facebook before the last primary in Illinois who she endorsed, and all of them were Democrats. I mean,
yeah, but were there any Republicans running?
I don't know.
Wow,
but I
you
know
didn't
that
Google? You didn't Google that? Yes, the answer is yes. It's a quick Google search. There were. They had a couple. She could have endorsed them, or even the independents. Did they have to be Republicans versus Democrats? Y'all know there are other platforms, right? Independent, Green Team Party, Libertarian. We should have more. It shows the vast opinions and ideas that we have here in this country. Diverse. It should not just be limited to two. But all in all, there were Republicans on it, and she didn't endorse them. Why is that again? Does she know what Republicans stand for? What does Tiffany Henyard know what the core values of Republicans are? Because I highly doubt she knows that. While you got these weirdos still simping for her after how many years? Keep the chicken nugget is sipping harmful of this woman. And he's married.
she endorsed, I would say there were Republicans running because she endorsed the treasurer and the attorney general. Let me look here.
Yeah, because
I had it pulled up. She endorsed a senator up there, the attorney general, the secretary of state, the treasurer, a congressman, a sheriff for Cook County, a judge, 3 judges, 4 judges. I know there had to be other people running for those offices that some of them would have been Republicans.
What did you take away from the interview?
A lot of untrue statements on her behalf.
Such as what?
She said number one, she said she didn't handle the money. Well, when I look at the lawsuit that Dalton filed against Fifth Third Bank, she's the only signatory, according to the lawsuit, in $1.9 million worth of checks.
Wow. And this woman didn't look this up. Look at her looking this. The only thing this woman can do is look down. She didn't even bother to research this information or look it up. Can you believe it? She didn't even try to Google. She would have came across that lawsuit and saw that. She also had her credit card. Made purchases to Amazon and Wayfair. These are things that just a basic, simple Google search would have rendered. But she didn't even do her due diligence before this dumbass interview where all Super Stupid does is talk about how she's a cult leader, basically. Everyone should listen to her, bow down and worship at her feet, believe nothing else but me, blah, 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 womp, 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 the end. That's it. Oh, and now I'm a Republican. That's the only new thing she's added to her spiel of bullshit. I'm a Republican now. So take everything she's been saying before for the last 2-3 years and just add I'm a Republican to the end of that, and it's the same old thing. And this woman couldn't even look that information up.
Knowing that it had to have 2 signatures and the bank cashed them.
Yeah, hit that like button.
She wasn't truthful in that. And her
like hell.
Her explanation of how the public body is supposed to work. You got the treasurer, you got the clerk, you got the trustees.
She said nothing.
That's true. That's how it's supposed to work. But my experience with researching what she did while she was doing it and talking to people up there, she ran the show, period. If anybody disagreed or crossed what she wanted them to do, she fired them, locked them out of their offices, cut off their email and other things.
Thank you. This woman didn't even look. Oh, yeah. Did y'all forget she locked a woman out of her office? Oh, Lord mercy. Oh, I'm so glad he said this. Oh, man. He's talking a little slow, and because she's look like she's running out of patience. But boy, if he would have come in and be like, she locked people out of the office, she did this, she fired them, she illegally terminated them, she would cut their checks, she would try to withhold their pay for them, blah blah blah. I mean, if he would just go in and go in and go in, she wouldn't even have time to even roll her eyes. Girl, you could have researched this stuff. That's what good independent journalists do. I don't know if you consider yourself a reporter or what the hell you're doing, lady, but you suck ass, and I want you to know that. That's it from the heart.
We wrote tons of articles, and everything we wrote was truthful.
Now, how did you get on? Like, who tipped you off to Tiffany Henyard?
The citizens, the residents.
I'm not entirely sure. I know we got a tip about Thornton Township, and then from a meeting in Thornton Township, we
the residents got sick
got
of
a tip
her
about
rightfully
the village
so.
of Dalton, and we showed up to the village of Dalton when our first meeting. They had to have it in the parking lot because the trustees scheduled a meeting that she didn't want to have. And so she tore up the meeting agendas on the door, locked them out of the building, and told them that if they went into the building for the meeting, she'd have them arrested for trespass.
Oh, gosh.
So they had.
Oh, she said, oh, gosh. Lady, you just not out. Did y'all hear her say that? She said, oh, gosh.
Because the trustees scheduled a meeting that she didn't want to have. And so she tore up the meeting agendas on the door, locked them out of the building, and told them that if they went into the building for the meeting, she'd have them arrested for trespass.
Oh, gosh.
So
Did y'all hear that? Oh, gosh. She just said, oh, gosh. Lady, you wouldn't even be shocked at this if you had done your research. Now that you're hearing this, how do you feel about this lady from AM 560, The Answer? How do you feel about super stupid Tiffany here now? You all see why I call her super stupid. Because it's not normal to be charged with direct criminal contempt of court. That's not normal. Now that you've heard this is her response to this. Oh, gosh. She should have known all of this before she let that heifer on her show. Now your show is going to be like garbage. Like the other one. What was the other lady that was like the purple Barney? I was there trying to defend her and then had to come back and say something because she had so many calls and complaints that she sat there and platformed Tiffany Henyard and let that woman lie like hell on her show up there in Chicago. That they ended up finding out that she was removing signs out of people's yards too, doing all kinds of weird stuff. And since she failed to become whatever she was running for, that's when she became a radio personality. People, boy, let me tell you something. People don't like being lied to, lady. You might want to recover this as quick as you can, Amy Jacobson.
They had a meeting in the parking lot, and that was our first visit to the village of Dalton for a meeting.
Okay, let's bring Kirk Allen into this conversation. Kirk, what did you take away from the interview?
Oh my gosh, she's
I
so
think one of the
clueless.
most important things is don't put any focus on politics. I don't care what party she claims to be. She's a master at the doublespeak.
She's a liar.
She was a mayor. When she took office, there was a $5.6 million surplus. When she left, there was a $3.65 million deficit.
Tell it.
Tons of unaccountability of credit card spending, over $700,000 in 1 year. No records to support it, according to the investigative report. My question now, why do we continue to rely on the federal prosecutors to do something about this activity? Where's the Cook County prosecutor? Where's the attorney general?
Well, is she still under a federal investigation?
Our understanding she is, that and there's pretty good sources that is the case. But again, why is it always the feds that are doing that? Why do we as Illinois citizens have to default to the federal government to get accountability? Where's the accountability with our own prosecutors?
Non-existent.
All right, John Kraft and Kirk Allen, we're going to have to leave it there. Coming up on...
She said those are good questions because she didn't know any of this at all. Wow, this interview was
The
something
Real
else.
Story, heart health and liver. Yes, we're going to be changing gears. You're listening.
Oh, okay, yeah, she's done. All right, so this is the end of this. This woman did nothing, no research. She didn't look anything up. She didn't even try. And this is so unbelievable. What is she gonna do when she try to recover? Like she comes back, just switch gears.
Her and I, she's 92, I'm 70. We live.
Okay, now they were talking about something else. She was like, "Oh God," he told her, "Oh yeah, no, she had people locked out and arrested and all that other good stuff." Oh Jesus! Wait a minute. So you didn't look up none of this, so she didn't even try. Y'all, this woman sucks. Oh, Amy Jacobson, you got to do better, girl. I don't know what else to tell you. Amy Jacobson, when you have an interview, you got to do your homework. You bring someone to your platform unless you make it known. I have not done any background research, so you tell us what you want us to know. You know, we'll have questions from the chat and stuff like that. Like you, typically that's how I go about and approach it. If I haven't had time, I will say it flat out. I have not had time to look this information up or research this or blah, blah, blah. So I want you to come on and be able to introduce yourself and just kind of let us know what you want us to know and go from there. This woman was supposed to be, like, you talk about somebody that has already held 2 political positions, elected positions already. And yet she uses words like politics. And you expected that to go well? Oh, child. Who tried? Didn't little dummy girl go on somebody else and do an interview? Child, this is something else. Did she go on somebody else and do an interview somewhere else? Girl. Unbelievable. Oh, dear Lord. So, Keep It Chicken Nugget started a YouTube channel after clowning YouTubers. For how long? You can't make this up. Oh, Lord have mercy. He starts a YouTube channel and has hold that because, you know, sipping sipping ain't easy, ain't it? Keith, sipping is not easy. Sipping on some scissor. Oh, Lord have mercy. How much of this interview would I be able to stomach? These 2 just clowns just lying like hell. Where did Jay Wick get that from? Oh, I wish I would put links in the thing. Child. I don't. I'll play a little Jay Wick. Yeah, this is something else. Hold on. Let me see if he got the link in it. Nope. No link. Come on, Deacon. Okay.
Let's go.
We definitely did give facts to the media. We definitely countered many things.
What facts? I didn't see facts. Did y'all get facts? Did y'all know he gave facts to the media? What facts? Because what you can't do is negate court documents. You know, you're not gonna tell us that she did not agree to allow Jason House to remain as a signatory on the Fifth Third bank account because court documents prove that. So you're not gonna be able to debunk that, you dumbass. So what facts did you give again? Anyone say any facts? Because we're debunking court documents, I guess, in the simp's mind here. You know, simping Keep the Chicken Nugget. In his mind, we're debunking court documents for some reason. Because weirdness.
That they said in the news with facts and emailed them to the reporters, and they never reported on it. So I can definitely attest to that. So once again.
Okay, Tiffany, walk in there 10 toes down and let the law speak for itself. And that's what we did. We went in there.
What's the word? What'd she say? Oh, man, I'm finna go in. What'd you say?
And that's what we did. We went in there.
That stopped her from telling her story.
Facts to
proof that I live here in Fulton County. And I am qualified.
Any day, twice on.
God damn it.
Many things that they said in the news with facts and emailed them to the reporters, and they never reported on it. So I can definitely attest to that. So once again,
Okay, Tiffany, walking that 10 toes down and let the law speak for itself. And
Law? Let the law? Is that what she said? Let the law? Girl, the word is law. L-A-W. Law. Sip and Keith, if you're going to sit here and simp, can you at least ensure that she speaks correct English? Law. The word is law. Super stupid. You got to practice your words. You got to use your words. You have to practice speaking. Law. Loud? This girl said loud. Lord. I got to hear it again. I can't believe this. This is
many
unbelievable.
things that they said in the news with facts and emailed them to the reporters, and they never reported on it. So I can definitely attest to that. So once again,
okay, Tiffany, walking that 10 toes down and let the law speak for itself.
Law.
And that's what we did. We went in there, we gave facts. You had certain board members trying to go left. And what I mean by left is onto something that got nothing to do with qualifications. When they asked me questions, I showed proof that I live here in Fulton County and I am qualified to run.
They asked you about when was the last time you were paid as a mayor and supervisor, primarily mayor. What do you mean? That definitely has a lot to do with qualification when you claim that you're a permanent resident, and our law states that you cannot be a permanent resident running for office in Georgia and hold a position in another state. The law states that. Keep reading, girl. And the word is law. Law. You're an embarrassment to nature.
For commissioner of the 5th district in Fulton County. So I was victorious.
You won't win.
And I did get them their kudos.
Kudos?
Once.
Oh my God, what you say? He's just laughing at this. He won't correct. So you're not going to correct her on how she speaks? So you want her to just sound ignorant? You sent.
And that's what we did. We went in there. We gave facts. You had certain board members trying to go left. And what I mean by left is onto something that got nothing to do with qualifications. When they asked me questions, I showed proof that I live here in Fulton County. And I am qualified to run for commissioner of the 5th district in Fulton County. So I was victorious and I did get them their kudos. Kudos.
Kudos. Y'all, did y'all know kudos was a word? That's a word. Kudos. She gave them their kudos because the Lao came in and gave her the kudos. This heifer wants to run for anything in Fulton County as a Republican. Dear Republican Party, you all should be so proud. If you're embracing this, I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. ... The Lady Luck Club. This is unbelievable. Her and her kudos. Kudos. Oh man, she's just making up words now.
Lord have mercy.
Once we got done, I tried. Shut up.
And Sipping over here just laughing at it. He's not saying no. You're not gonna embarrass me. The word is kudos. 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 You got to break it down. It's 2 syllables. Kudos. We're not doing that. That's embarrassing as hell. I want you to know that. You dumb down my platform. Make this out.
Once he got done.
They might try to.
It happens to the best of us. But at the end of the day, I'm still human. So you have a sense of humor.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely. I thought that
happens to the best of us.
Whole hearing was interesting. Number one of the things I did like about Fulton County is the fact that if the board gets complaints, that they have the power and the ability to do a challenge on their own.
That's any board. Is he new here on earth? So the simp is not foreign. He doesn't understand how things work. And he claimed to have been in politics. It's called an administrative proceeding. That's any board. What are you talking about? Oh no, he's just not finding that out.
As you know, in Illinois, someone has to put that challenge on you. It doesn't matter how much stuff you tell the board or the AG or the state's attorney, it seems, in Illinois, they don't do their jobs when it comes to something like that. So that was something that I liked about their process. I can't lie. I kind of like that.
I think I'm in the difference of opinion.
They're incompetent. They failed to send an email correctly. What are you talking about? They did what any other government agency would do. They had an administrative proceeding. The F you mean?
With it because I fear it could be biased at times. So I like the fact that we're able to
real, man.
show facts. You know, I like the fact that they didn't let the biased people speak for truth. Because there's some people that just because what they heard on the fake news that they didn't want me to run for office. It's not your choice. It is.
Yeah, all news is fake news to her except whatever comes out of her mouth, which is a lie. So you still end up at the same place where you started. It's either fake or a lie, or it's just dumb because kudos. Who knows or kudos? You can't make this up. She's making up words. Like these words do not exist in the dictionary at all. Kudos is not a word. Not a word. And she said it twice. Loud is not a word either. And she said that boldly.
My choice. And my choice alone by making sure that I have all of the evidence to prove that I'm qualified to run for office. Now, if I couldn't prove something, that's a different statement. Then yeah, I can't run for office. But I was overqualified to run for office because it goes to the date of swearing in. So I'm way beyond the time frame of running for office.
Even if it was
okay, I just gotta say that again. That is not true. That's
not true.
The issue was not whether or not she could run and win. The problem was she should never have been allowed in the first place because she did not meet the qualifications in the first place. That's why I don't believe anybody on the GOP actually green-lighted her candidacy because she wasn't qualified from the word go. Therein is the problem. Not all this other, really all the other stuff that they were talking about, because they moved the goalpost, and I told you that. They moved the goalpost, and that wasn't what the argument was, whether or not she would have been here a year by the time being sworn in. That wasn't, and nobody said that. The issue was whether or not she had been here a year before she actually, quote unquote, qualified. All right. All right, you ready? Anything you want to pick out on there, Quentin? Or
I'm gonna let him keep going and save it till we really talking.
Dead on a year. You met the requirements by the election law of Georgia.
Yes.
The one lady with the long hair, and I didn't do my homework well on her name. She seemed to be asking a lot of questions that had nothing to do with the election law dealing with.
I knew it.
They did. She cited the law. Is he out of his mind? This clown right here, she cited the law. She gave the statute code. In case you didn't know what Georgia state law looks like, it's OCGA, and they didn't have the statute code. You know, because you're not from Georgia, so, you know, whatever. She actually cited statute code. You just didn't like her questions because you're a simp. That has nothing to do with her actually citing state law. We even pulled it up. What do you mean? Georgia statute code 40-5-2 or something like that?
But people don't understand how it works. The process works. They did not live in the district. Therefore, the board then challenged me as well.
The district is irrelevant when you're citing state law. State law applies across the entire state of Georgia. So these two are still dumb as hell. State law is not limited to a district. Super stupid. State law applies across the entire state. This is unreal. This is a real conversation they're having.
I didn't appreciate the challenge only for the simple fact I turned in my lease literally. When they sent me an email, I turned in the lease the next day just to prove that I live here in Fulton County. But it was about a show. And as you can see, the show went on.
Oh, yeah, because literally, it was a show. Because literally, the lady who cited state law that applies across the entire state of Georgia, and because she doesn't know how to pronounce the word law, you know, law, didn't give her enough kudos to provide evidence on why she was still trying to claim permanent residency here in the state of Georgia while holding office in the state of Illinois. Because our law says you can't do that. Kudos to the dum-dum.
But the facts prevail. So I appreciate them setting up to the task and making sure that they stuck with the truth. So thank you again.
Oh, man.
When we talk about Fulton County,
pathetic.
I had never heard of Fulton County. So you know me.
You've never heard of Fulton County?
Google it.
Stop. So any other time, any other person you know that's been in Atlanta said they've been in Atlanta, you've never heard of Fulton County? The largest county in the city of Atlanta? Are you serious? Is he out of his mind? He's a simp.
Fulton County. Fulton County
This is
themselves
unreal.
were the election board was raided by the FBI about a month and a half ago.
Yes.
I don't know how you did it, but you seem to find a place that may be worse than Crook County itself. The things I read about them, it was pretty alarming. So what's your take on any of that without going?
Is it worse than Cook County? Because why would she come down here and run as a Republican, knowing she's not going to get the votes? Somewhere where it's worse than where she left. Who does that? I thought she was doing upward mobility. You know, I'm moving to a better place for me and my child, not going where it's worse. So the dumb simp is asking a question that goes against what she said in what, 2 interviews now? Then she can't come here because it's supposed to be better for her child than what she was. If it's worse, then why would she move to where it's worse? Make that make sense? You know, kudos to the one who doesn't know Laos, because you know it's literally insane how she's sitting here just co-signing on the simp's dumb question about moving to a place where it's worse than where you left. When you said you were moving here because it was supposed to be better, she went on Max News, News Nation, saying the same rhetoric. And now she's sitting here saying, yeah, it's actually worse than Cook County. Oh, wow. Well, why don't you just move back? Wouldn't that be better?
Too deep without giving too much of your plans away. We just want to address the people on the program. That's all.
So
this is so
all
dumb.
I'm saying is me today, you tomorrow.
And you said that a lot. And it's been a lot of tomorrows on a lot of them people right now.
It has. It just keep on coming. So that's why I tell people, stay tuned. When they watch my story, they're gonna see my glory.
Tomorrow's on who? It's literally been tomorrow's on these people. Who? Because you know, simps gotta keep simping. So you know, they just gonna co-sign with whatever the cult leader says. Who? Can you name a person? Because if they don't agree with you, then they don't agree with you. It is what it is. Keep living and get over it. They don't have to agree with you.
So
yes, ma'am.
I like the fact that people are fact checking things, such as meaning the government. I know they mad because it's Trump or whatever, but if it was them, they would do the same thing. And that's what I want people to understand. If it was you, whether Republican or Democrat, would you want to see if you won the election or not? Because I believe they did the same thing over in Thornton Township, in Dalton. The same thing happens. But who's going to do something about it? That's the question. So that's why I urge.
She sued them and lost. You know, she literally tried to sue. And her case was dismissed by a whole judge in a court of law because she don't know Laos at all. Not one. And yet the simp won't remind her of that because, you know, he's not trying to be fair and neutral or anything. He's just like, oh, I'm just going to let her just sit here and just sully my platform, you know, and look like the biggest simp that I am. You know, all 890 pounds of cow meat. I'm just going to simp, keep simping. Moo cow.
People to let the process be the process, and then whatever the facts are, that's what they are. But at least someone's looking into it. So I appreciate it.
Since we adding that, I definitely believe it was some funny business when I ran for Mayor Harvey in 2019. But this show ain't about me. Maybe I'll come on your show and tell my story.
Okay, we can do that.
Again, everybody in Facebook land, thanks for watching. A lot of people, I see y'all. Candy, Brandon, Keith, Nikki. What's up, Buzzin'? How you doing? I see all y'all. I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all, but I'm trying to stick to a script and not hold Tiffany up too long. So
well, what you got to do?
This segment right
Nothing.
here.
She ain't got no job.
I call it let's address the elephant in the room. Okay.
Okay. I do want to stop for a second. You do realize that Keith Price asked her about Fulton County, and all she talked about was the ballots being seized by the FBI. Now, granted, that's a big deal. Sure, no problem, no question there. But that's not the biggest deal here in Fulton County. You know what I mean, Quentin? Does that make sense?
It makes perfectly good sense. If you think about it, and really quick, it's the third time that they've conflated issues. So they
and ballots for a presidential election. So what is she saying? This is her first time running as a Republican at that. She's running for Fulton County Commissioner, not President of the United States. And this is the same moron that won't read Georgia state law. She thinks somehow a law that was read to her by a board member does not apply to District 5 when it's state law. It applies to the whole state, all districts in the state of Georgia. This is painful. I don't know, is he supposed to be conducting an interview? What is Keep the Chicken Nugget doing? What exactly is this? It's just a conversation. Let's just shoot the breeze. Or are you asking questions? He's talking about sticking to a script. You got to have a script. So you're bad at this as well? Okay. All right.
Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi speeches, and some kind of way tied them to Tiffany being slurred. That had nothing to do with each other.
Nothing.
And then just did the thing with the FBI and the ballots that had nothing to do with what they were doing. Then when he brought up, I did some research on Fulton County and they might be more crooked than crooked. Like, are you trying to win constituents? Or are you trying to turn them off? I'm like, you're not finna make anybody feel.
No, she already said y'all laws, laws don't apply to her in the state of Georgia. So she doesn't think she's bound by Georgia state laws. She said that in a video while she's standing before a board, wanting them to accept her so-called documents for the challenge. It's y'all law. Y'all law. No, that's what this idiot said. Standing before the board in a challenge hearing. It's y'all law. Because she didn't want to give the full citation of state law to support the BS that she was putting out there. And the one board member that is competent was challenging her, rightfully so, on providing the citation. You're going to sit here and say this is law, then give the citation. Give us the statute code. And she's sitting here talking about this y'all law. And yet you want to claim permanent residence? You don't even consider yourself to be a part of Georgia right now. Girl, get your bum ass out of here. And you got this sipping ass Keep the Chicken Nugget talking about this might be worse than Crook County. So take her back. Why would she want to go somewhere where it's worse than where she left? Where's the logic in that again? Because, he's an idiot. Where's the logic in that and what you're saying? That's not even, it's not even funny. Because you're saying you moved somewhere that's worse than where you left. But yet she's gone around on Newsmax and News Nation saying, I moved here to have a better life, because I'm trying to move it on up to the east side, to that deluxe apartment in the sky. Me and Siggy and, my guy and my child, we moving on up. But it's worse than where you left. Make it make sense? See, this is what happens when you simp and you don't read a book.
Feel like voting for you, talking like you just got here 6 months ago, and you get ready to start trying to talk about it. Get out of here, man. I'm like, you get out of here, and this lady you're trying to vouch for.
Right.
And like you said, they haven't said anything about
what you
bring to the table as a candidate.
And I'm gonna tell y'all again. I'm telling you again. I'm not a political consultant, but I will give you an idea because I know Tiffany's people watch this. I guarantee you one way that you can at least get into the decent graces of Atlanta people. You know what it is, Quentin?
What's that, man?
It's one word. It's 4 letters.
I don't know what is it. Grits.
It rhymes with ice.
That's 5. No,
matter of fact,
that's 5 words. Being nice.
No, Rice Street, the jail. All you got to do is to say, "I'm gonna try to fix the jail."
Oh,
it's easy. It's a softball. Just talk about the jail. There's so much going wrong with Fulton County Jail. Rice Street is Again, all you gotta do is just say, hey, the jail is bad. This is what I'm gonna do to help the jail. That's it.
But guess what?
And then people be like, well, hold on, let me pay attention now.
But guess what? You're very right with that 4-letter word, Rice Street, right? But guess what?
Right.
You usually have to be around here longer than 11.6 months to know about Rice Street. There lies the problem.
Therein is the problem. Let's get back.
The Democrats or me, the Republicans.
It's only one elephant right now in the room that's running now as a Republican. So let's address that elephant.
Let's hear this one.
Okay.
Why did you switch?
Well, as I've been stating on every platform thus far, my value, and y'all got proof on it. Napoleon Harris.
What happened?
Thaddeus Jones. Y'all got proof that these individuals are doing things.
Hello?
But yet they say, oh,
It is junk.
They did.
Oh, I'm gonna sweep it under the rug. And no one
I
speaks
didn't do
out,
it.
but everybody sees the injustice. And I just want to point that out. But I'm gonna go back to the caucus. So at the caucus, they had
Was that for real? Oh, Deacon. Did that do that for
Very
real?
right with that 4-letter word, Rice Street, right? But guess what?
Right.
You usually have to be around here longer than 11.6 months to
wasn't his
know
video?
about Rice Street. There lies the problem.
Therein is the problem. Let's get back.
Oh, yeah, they have a
Democrats
special relationship for real.
or me, the Republicans.
It's only one elephant right now in the room that's running now as a Republican. So let's address that elephant.
Let's
in the
hear this
room.
one.
Okay.
Why did you switch?
Well, as I've been stating on every platform thus far, my value, and y'all got proof on it. Napoleon
What the hell?
Thaddeus Jones. Y'all got proof that these individuals.
That's not my video or Deacon's. That was his. He skipped that. Why did they edit that? Why would he edit that?
Are doing things.
Hello?
But yet they say, oh,
It is junk.
They did.
Oh, I'm gonna sweep it under the rug.
That
And no one
I
speaks
didn't do
out,
it.
but everybody sees the injustice. And I just want to point that out. But I'm gonna go back to the caucus. So at the caucus, they had everybody
junk.
stand outside in the cold.
It just jumped. Okay, why did you switch? I'm sorry, you're gonna have to answer that again because it jumped. Somehow, I suck at podcasting. Like, he sucks. He didn't know that the video just jumped and it skipped that whole portion. But he has a limitation with StreamYard or something. What is he doing?
It did, but she's talking about what the Democrats did to her.
To vote. Everybody's there to vote. We had seniors. They was on buses. They was on
How you doing,
walkers.
Tanya?
When I say cold coat, I got out of my vehicle and put seniors in it. We loaded the buses as best as we could. Even some of they hate us.
That has nothing to do with the fact that you lost the lawsuit when you tried to sue them. Where it would make a difference. None of that matters. It doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. Where it mattered the most is the court of law, and you had your case dismissed. So you had no standing. You didn't have a point to prove because you couldn't even prove that point in the court of law where it would matter most. So it's irrelevant. All of this is fluff. No wonder it skipped.
Was outside. I let them get on the bus. It's all about my heart. I care about people. And then they had a bogus pizza party, a couple hours before that, and wouldn't let the people in, and it started at 6:30, and we showed up at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, we showed up about between 4:15, 4:30. Everybody was
my
calling.
point is, we was on time. We was before on time. We had to stand in the cold and wouldn't let us in the building. It was the biggest disappointment of voter suppression there was. And I thought we was past that.
And so this is supposed to win you over. Anybody in
Yeah, see, none of this is not relevant because we could just look at the court filing where you tried to sue for that caucus and you lost. So he's not going to bring up the court documents. Somehow they've altered reality in their minds where court documents mean nothing to them, where you have background facts and evidence and everything presented to the court, and the judge still said, but there was no laws violated, so whatever, bye. She lost. It was dismissed. So what standing do they have to, other than them complaining about this? It still doesn't change the fact that you had no case in court where you think you would have the strongest case, right? They did all this stuff. She kept crying. It was illegal. And then you go to court, and then the judge is like, no, it was not. It was very legal. It was, there's no law broken here. I'm going to dismiss this. It was dismissed with prejudice. And now they're sitting here still whining and crying about it. Why? Girl, if you don't grow up and move on.
Fulton County, District 5, this soliloquy right here is supposed to win you
Lord have
over
mercy.
from voting Democrat, you're a lifelong Democrat, to now voting for a carpetbag Republican. Okay, an EBT Republican. There you go. This is it. Was it? I don't think this is pre-recorded. I don't think this is it pre-recorded.
It might be.
I know that it might keep. The video keeps jumping though. It's crazy.
That's why it seems like a good theory.
Video horrible.
But yeah, we're still doing it. And it's your own doing it to you. And that's what I got a problem with. When it's your own people treating you the way that you point the finger at the other.
You've only run for one position in Fulton County. Can you get over whatever happened in Illinois? You already, like, the Republicans in your district are gonna be like, look, we ain't got time for all that. What the heck? What you gonna do with your platform again? How you gonna make our lives better? We don't care about yours. They ain't gonna look at her and say, we don't give a damn about your life. You tell us how you gonna make our lives better. Don't care about none of that. You came from where? Dalton. Oh, okay. Well, so, and girl, we can get rude down here. You can't make this up.
People that ain't doing it, but you're doing it.
So I got Michael Smith just weighed in with a comment.
Okay.
And Mike Smith said that his problem is that,
and they took my name off the building way before that. So
yeah,
people can say whatever they want, but
they've done it weeks before. But I think what Mike is saying is
he got
no one
everything
gets paid before they do the work. Your pay was due you.
If you got to cut out the interview like this, so where you cutting out whole responses and stuff, it's because she said some BS that most people would not even be in agreement with, that could be fundamentally debunked with documentation and evidence, like her, consistently talking about how it was so messed up what they did. Funny how you couldn't get a judge in a court of law to agree to that. You can't make this up.
Anyway, so the fact that Ben will go on and they're still doing it. They're still doing it to you right now.
Yeah.
The fact that Ben Bradley will go on and make something seem as if those little 4 days really meant something tragic is crazy. But he has not commented on illegal bids being awarded and contracts being awarded at Thornton Township. Let's go back to the caucus.
She didn't give out contracts at all or go through the bidding process because there's no evidence and documentation of it. She violated whole state laws doing what she did. She also committed fraud, filling out bank documents to have people taken off of a bank account. That's definitely being turned over to the FBI. You do understand she's under FBI investigation. To the Republicans of District 5 in Fulton County, Tiffany A. Henyard is under FBI investigation, and two of her lapdogs that used to simp hard for her, like this one does, have given plea agreements to the FBI because it still works. Hey, whatever. They're like, oh, no, they got them on bankruptcy stuff. Yeah, because they want them to testify to other things. That method still works. You just got these goons that can't pronounce words that somehow have not allowed that to sink in. Keep the chicken nugget is not going to bring that up, and Super Stupid is going to keep lying about it. So, reading is fundamental. I implore all of you to do your research and actually read and go over court documents, because this whole thing about the caucus, a judge in the court of law dismissed it. And guess what did not happen? An appeal. There was no appeal. No one appealed it. She didn't appeal a damn thing. Why didn't you appeal, Super Stupid? Felt like you had a case? Why didn't you appeal it in the court of law? Oh, no.
The caucus
oh my God,
was the night that I actually knew. And I told you that too. Because you knew I would speak to NAPO periodically before all this. That caucus was the night that I knew I couldn't mess with Napoleon. When I saw what they did, when I saw that they had a party hours before that they were supposed to be having this caucus, they never probably expected us to get there so early like we did. For those in listening land, we have
listening land because he's an idiot. So here it is. It's just a quick search because we can Google. Tiffany Henyard loses lawsuit over Thornton Township caucus Cook County judge has dismissed Tiffany Henyard's lawsuit challenging the results of the December 2024 Democratic Party caucus in Thornton Township, Illinois, which determined the Democratic nominee for supervisor. And then it goes over what occurred. The caucus held instead of a primary was chaired by State Senator Napoleon Harris. It adopted its own rules, including a provision that nominees could not run in another election, a rule Henyard argued was illegal and unfair, even though she couldn't say how it was illegal. She claimed the process was biased, citing voter suppression and lack of proper rules before the vote. Henyard's lawsuit. Henyard sued the Democrats of Thornton Township and Harris, alleging she was unable to compete fairly due to unfair caucus rules, voter suppression, venue manipulation. She sought a do-over, arguing she was denied her right to vote for whomever she chose. Court's ruling. Judge Carolyn Moreland dismissed the case with prejudice. Can we say, Lord, we thank you? Because what you cannot do is take all this BS you're saying on Keep It Chicken Nuggets bullshit platform into a court of law. It doesn't work that way. Oh, Lord have mercy. Tiffany, how long are you going to keep crying about this? You lost in court. It was dismissed with prejudice, meaning Henyard cannot refile. Key reasons included: Henyard failed to file a required written objection to Harris's nomination within the 5 business day deadline under Illinois law. So the state of Illinois has a law where you have to file a written objection to the nomination. She didn't do that because she's lazy. Is it the law thing? And kudos. All the other words she's butchering, they don't seem to translate well over into paper in writing. Why didn't she do this? Keith Free, what's his name? Keith Price, whatever. One of the Keiths. Why aren't you telling her this is what she should have done? Actually giving her information that would be useful. Her reliving it over and over again and whining and complaining about something that a judge dismissed with prejudice gets you nowhere. Why not tell her, though, this is what you should have done, though? So he was sipping for her this whole time. Not one time did he even bother to Google what to do if you want to object to a nomination for a caucus in the state of Illinois. File a required written objection within the 5 business day deadline under Illinois law. That's state law. That's not limited to just Thornton Township. That is Illinois law, state law. He didn't bother to look this up. They beat her at her own game and she can't stand it, Ty. Oh, yeah. That was Keith Price. Keith McChicken Nugget. The one that's also been sued at least twice. Illegally terminating people, threatening people with weapons at work. He should have been charged and arrested. But then they had that corrupt ass potato head Louis Lacey up there that let them get away with God knows what. Most of their criminality is cited in court documents. That's why, I'm just a huge fan of going over those court documents. And they got mad with me for doing that. Why? When they could Google and look up laws themselves so that she could have filed some objection in writing within 5 business days. So Keith McChicken Nugget failed to read and Google and was just simping and whining, complaining all over the news, but didn't try to do anything to actually take action to object to Napoleon Harris. Because, reading is not fundamental for them. The objection was not filed in the proper jurisdiction, and the Electoral Board could no longer hear such objections for the April 2025 election. The judge found no set of facts that would entitle Henyard to recover damages. No set of facts. See, you're whining and complaining and all this BS and hoopla you giving where you're mispronouncing simple words that are 2 and 3 syllables does not constitute facts. And your definition of facts is flawed. This girl can't define the word facts to save her life. Like if Jesus put her on the ledge of a cliff on a mountain and said, define the word facts. That will determine whether you live or die. She would not be able to do that. Because she thinks facts is how she feels. That's not it. All the L's that this girl has taken in the court of law is incomprehensible. And we've gone over many of the lawsuits where she lost like hell. And yet, the Hentards don't want to read. They don't want to look this stuff up. This was a quick Google search. There were no set of facts that would even entitle her to recover damages. Your complaints did not equate to a set of facts. You know, because in the court of law, it's based on a finding of fact, law, and evidence. You didn't even have a set of facts. Outcome. The court affirmed the caucus results, giving Harris the Democratic nomination for supervisor. Henyard will not appear on the April ballot for that race. Will need to run as a write-in candidate, to which she did. She still lost. The end. She's mad because she lost, and neither one of them thunkheads could just Google how to object to a nomination for the state of Illinois. Is it failure to just Google or what? I think it's the reading that's not fundamental for them. They're lacking in reading skills. So this is all they had to do. Let me look up and make sure I do things the right way. And I come in with all the documentation what I needed. When you're being lazy as hell, you get nowhere. You can't go to court, and you didn't even try to object in writing within the 5-day deadline. Based on Illinois state law. You know, laws that you don't override. You can't make this shit up. So these incompetent morons sitting here whining and complaining about something that they didn't even try to even research to make sure, you know, they dotted their I's and crossed their T's. Because law don't apply to her.
When you have the caucus, the only people that should be in attendance at a caucus are Thornton Township residents or whatever resident that particular committeeman is having the caucus for. In our case, it was Thornton Township. So they never cleared that room. They had people all
irrelevant. Not even a set of facts that the judge utilized to determine anything. She lost the case. Oh, dear Lord. Is he really doing this? Boy, he's slipping hard as hell. His wife got to be somewhere in the background. Can you get the hell off this damn live stream? Come on. Ready to go to Golden Corral.
in that room,
why are we still
a plethora of people in that room that never was from Thornton Township, should not have been in there, shouldn't have had a I or a nay to.
I'm just gonna stop it. I'm just gonna let them keep talking.
He's just dwelling on this
because I don't want to pause it because I don't know why the screen keeps jumping. Right?
Yeah,
right. Just keep
jumping.
But okay, fine. All right, that was fine. That was, and again, I think
she lost the lawsuit.
Tiffany.
Yep.
That was some Chicago politics.
Yep.
I ain't mad at them.
Yep.
Y'all sued and y'all attempted to sue and it was deemed that it was right.
No, they sued and they lost. Oh, he lost. She lost like hell. What was he at when she needed to file an objection in writing within 5 business days? What was he at when he, she needed to know exactly what to do legally to object to this nomination? So neither one of them bothered to Google. Now they want everybody to pay the price for it. What the hell for? They grown as hell. How old are they? Tiffany here, if you don't kick rocks.
So it is what it is. Why are you still talking about that though?
Thank you.
Because that was almost a year and a half, right?
If I'm interpreting it correctly, even though this has been running on so long, I think this is supposed to be the answer to why she's running as a Republican.
He was eating the
Remember, that was the initial question.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, because the Democratic caucus, the caucus, they did her so wrong. So that's
caucus.
Why. Yeah, the caucus.
Good catch. Okay, I see what you did there.
Half a page of questions. So one of the weirdest things that I noticed was.
Oh, one of the weirdest things we've noticed, you didn't ask her. So what is your platform? What policies are you going to put in place to help District 5 in Fulton County as a Republican? You know, what you're running for currently right now, because we can't keep dwelling on the past. Because Fulton County is not playing it. They don't care what you did up in Dalton or in Thornton Township. They could give a rat's ass. They don't care about that. Does she even know what's going on in District 5? Super stupid. I know you're listening. You're still a moron. Are you going to go door to door and talk to constituents? How are you going to do this? Because otherwise, they don't know who the hell you are. Girl, we got to listen. If me and Deacon go out there and beat you to it, you're not going to like it. I'm just letting you know. We'll go out there and beat you to it, heifer. You have no platform, no policy, no plan, no nothing. And I'm concerned that you still can't tell me what's 3 times 3. Can't make this shit up.
When the internet accused me of having a corporate checkbook and me and you was going to a currency exchange.
I'm talking about all this stuff we don't care about.
Checks.
Y'all did it.
We still talking about this
I
stuff?
thought that was the craziest thing in the world. As you knew, I had a severe damage.
Never mind, they were actually, in photos. Someone recorded them in a video. Going in, a check cash in place. Because, they were on video. What do you want?
Damage tip from a torn groin muscle and a torn labrum in my hip. I needed surgery bad.
Yeah, double cheeseburgers weren't getting it.
I was talked about. They said I had gout. I've never had gout. They said I had the corporate checkbook. I didn't even think y'all had a corporate checkbook for Thornton Township. That was just my folder that I could go in the other room right now and get that same black folder.
Oh,
but
get it.
The lies that were told during that time, and even when we tried to combat with the truth, they would not report on it, told me that it was
dude, because we don't care. We don't care about that trivial nonsense. You think the news outlet gonna sit here and try to correct you going in? Oh, he needed a hip replacement and a knee replacement, and he had some torn cartilage. It was not a corporate checkbook. It was a folder that he still will not share now, even on his own podcast. He just sitting here sipping like hell. You are a married man.
A much bigger
one you keep.
conspiracy going on. We talked about this conspiracy as I did some extra digging.
Oh,
today.
you're a clown.
Oh, my word.
Did you fire an attorney named Odelson?
Of course.
Why do we care?
When did that attorney get fired?
Yeah, I was gonna give people clarity of how it works. When you win a seat,
oh my God,
it's up to you to bring the people that is beneficial to you. And what I mean by beneficial to you, that's gonna be loyal to help you succeed, not try to take you out. So your job is you can either stay with the same attorneys, change the attorneys.
You can't make this stuff up.
The same CPAs, change them. It's your option. So I did change them. And I went with Delgado Law Firm, and there was a one before that, but she became a judge.
Delgado was a crook. He just pimps out districts up there in the south suburban area of Illinois. Delgado Law Firm sucks ass. And they don't care. They just let them keep racking in all those billable hours. Because math is not, important to either one of these clowns. Tiffany, what's 3 times 4? I'll wait. Don't count. You can't use your fingers for that.
Different law firm I had prior to that, I can't think of their name. And then I went to Delgado Law Firm.
This is insane, man.
Therefore, he was upset because he couldn't keep the seat.
Fulton County does not care
for him as it relates to wanting to work with him because I don't like how he do the Black and brown community.
Yeah, like personal
Now, I'm gonna jump in. I hate to cut you off, but this is kind of fun. Odelson was a gentleman that I talked about in the early 2010, somewhere up in there, when I was a newly elected alderman in Harvey.
No one remembers
I noticed that everywhere Odelson is, there's conflict, there's turmoil.
We don't care about him. This dude does not pay our bills. We're not reporting on him. Why don't you ask her about her policies when you going door to door, so I can bunny hop behind you? I get my Limp Biscuit on. Come down there with some Popeyes and we'll go out there together. What the hell? This is so irrelevant. Are you moving your father to Atlanta, Georgia? To stay with you and your guy. The guy that's still married. He's still legally married. Are you moving your dad in the home with them so he can be safe? He's talking about people and most people in Fulton County could care less about. They never heard of this man. That's our problems up there, because somehow Tiffany thinks our laws don't apply to her if she lives here. But whatever. The hell?
And his company stands to make the bad off of us fighting with each other. And the reason I brought Odelson up, Tiffany, and this is, like I said, this is for the land of the listeners. You terminated that guy. That guy is a very powerful attorney in the state of Illinois, for those that don't know. This guy seems to have been behind a lot of the attacks. Seems to. This is just the thoughts of Keith Price. Odelson was also in attendance at that caucus. So I really feel like Odelson had a lot to do with the.
I'm gonna do something, man. I'm sorry. I'm
okay.
I'm not gonna rage quit. Don't worry, y'all. I'm not gonna rage quit. But Quentin, this is a total. What in the? I mean, I'm trying not to use spicy words.
No,
I'm gonna have to mute myself. What are we talking about? What is this?
Again, I am a horrible YouTuber, but I'm horrible because I'm not consistent. Watching whatever this live stream is supposed to be, I can't understand what the purpose of it is supposed to be. Like,
hands down.
Again, we still haven't had any questions answered about her platform. What are you running on? What do you see as major issues? What is going to be your tactic at combating these issues? We get it. That was a simple. That answer should have been over with at this point. I don't know why we had to keep going through about these meetings, to caucus, and now somebody that used to be an attorney that's not an attorney, but he showed up at the caucus. Why? I don't know why Price is going through all of this right now. What is it supposed to be getting to the bottom of? I don't get
nothing.
It. And who's supposed to be convinced?
Especially when you could just Google what happened with the lawsuit on the caucus and see that it was dismissed with prejudice, and she didn't even have a set of facts to get actual damages. Those are facts you can't eradicate. Lawsuit filing and the court documents and the ruling from the judge. And guess what? If she felt like the judge was wrong, she could have appealed it, and she didn't. She could have appealed the judge's ruling. She did not even appeal it. What are we talking about? His damn podcast program sucks ass.
Be a voter.
I don't know. Keith Price, man, if you ever want to, man, hit your boy up, man. I'll help you out. Y'all know I help people that absolutely hate me.
Nope.
I will absolutely hate you because, bro, you are a terrible content creator. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Against you having that mental facility.
Oh, man.
Just this past election, they turned around and put the exact same things on the ballot as a referendum. Not only did they do that, they put on the ballot.
Man.
Do you want a tax? And that's just not for you though, Tiffany.
How you doing?
You had other elected officials that wanted to nominate themselves for trustee. You had everybody was left out in the cold. I don't want to sit on this live and make it seem like every single person was going to vote for Tiffany out there, because they probably weren't.
No, you're not. There's no way for you to do that because we don't care about your tantrum. You're mad because every single person did not vote for her. You act as if people owed her those votes. They didn't owe her shit. They didn't owe her anything. And she's still acting like this. She came to Fulton County acting as if people owed her something. Well, I cited y'all law. It's y'all law. That's what she said in this whole challenge hearing. It's y'all law. Laws that you have to abide by if you're going to live in our state. It had to be the most ignorant thing ever. And it's like, you're upset because people are challenging your residency. And yet, the attorney gave them a set of variables to utilize to help determine her eligibility to remain on the ballot. She thought coming in there being sassy and, come on, not wearing a bra, having his boobs flapping around, shimmying all over the place. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is so gross. Why are we seeing it through the shirt? I mean, seriously, he didn't even try. So next time, hopefully he'll be wearing a bra, but whatever. But he thought he was going to be intimidating, and it just didn't happen that way. Since the attorney broadened the scope of all the variables that can be utilized to determine her eligibility, then they were able to use more than just the residency. And that's what really got her over. It was that. Because otherwise, if it was just purely based on residency, she already had one board member vote against her. She wouldn't have gotten it. And at the end of the day, she doesn't have the votes from the Republican Party in that district to win. She doesn't have it. Her running around here complaining about something that happened in the village of Dalton or Thornton Township, 2 areas in Illinois that Fulton County District 5 could care less about, is not going to win her any favors either. It's not going to win her over. She's not going to win over voters with that nonsense. They don't give a damn about what's going on in another state right now. If you're talking about addressing the needs of the people that live there, they could care less about your gripe that you've got going on with some caucus that you lost in a court of law. You know, when you tried to sue them and you lost, they don't care. Because then they're going to be like, okay, well, you took them to court and lost. So why are you still going on with this? Yeah, if you don't grow up.
They probably were going to vote for that mayor or whatever. But we brought a gang of people.
Yeah, we had the numbers. We was winning. You know, you had the numbers.
We brought a gang of people to the party.
And that's what scared them.
So, absolutely. But I don't ever want you to forget that I just think that guy.
Okay. She brought a gang of people
to a
but
party.
nobody wrote her name in as a write-in candidate because she got write-in votes. And it was a very paltry number. So the gang of people that would have, quote unquote, why didn't they just write your name in?
Right.
Dude, I'm
They're
actually
going
loving
against
this
evidence
stream.
in reality.
I'm loving this stream and I'm loving the
Oh,
hearing from
God.
Monday. Because again, if we know nothing about the past 24 months, say we don't know anything that came out of Dalton, we were under a rock, this candidate just landed. This candidate just landed before us. This stream and Monday's hearing is all you need to know as a voter. The judgment is horrible. Bringing Kamal along to that hearing and being combative was horrible. That's horrible judgment, horrible leadership. This live stream right here that's supposed to endure her to new voters, this is horrible. All it's been is a bunch of faux victimhood. And I say faux because the videos he played at the beginning had nothing to do with what happened to her up in Dalton. And then they asked why, then he asked a question that could have been a great question for a new candidate. Why are you running as a Republican? And they just went through all of this stupid caucus stuff for 45 minutes. Like, what is this? What is the purpose of it? And the purpose right now is showing that your judgment is skewed. Why would anybody put any money behind this person as a candidate?
Right. And remember, you are new. Again, she's not running for a position in Chicago or in the Southland or in Dalton or in Harvey. You are 732 miles away.
You're not a great
south of the Mason-Dixie line. Man, we don't care about none of this stuff.
You didn't graduate from Tri-Cities.
Behind a lot of this. And this is just
We don't care about none of
my
that.
assumption. So let's go with
Girl.
Fulton County. This is another question that's on my actual page. Fulton County is a Democratic stronghold.
Okay, let's go. There we go.
If my hip was working right.
They jumped again.
Everybody that works for you slim down. One thing they can never say is
What
that you're
is
not a
going
worker,
on?
you're not a
All
grinder.
his
You're gonna go out
videos
there and you're gonna
god-awful.
get it.
All right, I'm done.
So I got
How,
it wouldn't.
all the stuff that they
And
let
how
through,
do you feel
garbage.
about the purchasing of the Pope's house in
Don't care.
On a board order. And that's what people don't understand.
Don't care.
said that and you went outside and did
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no reason for you to be asking her questions about, the caucus and all that kind of stuff like that. Let her do that on her own. Like, if you want to, are you trying to help her win, Keith?
No.
What
he doesn't
she
care.
thought the biggest problems were, and of course,
with that being said, is there anything you would like to say in closing? Now, I know
Oh my
Know what to
God.
do. How you think I ran? People come in here, talk to me, didn't know who I was, and
Yeah,
then
nobody do
they
that.
said run, 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 because people are afraid to run. People
Nobody
don't like
knows
the
you.
smear campaign that comes with politics. Some people
Well,
never made it.
when we talk,
It's the broken English for me. I just, and people like to see him get mad because I call her super stupid. She does this on purpose. This is not accidental for her to say politics or law or, realization or alization with a Z. Like she talks like this intentionally. Is it to dumb yourself down or what? Or you just showing people how ignorant you truly are? So when we point out that you're an idiot, why do you get upset? Because your vocabulary and your lack of being able to pronounce, the English vocabulary is a testament to your idiocy. Why do you get upset with us for pointing that out when you do this intentionally? When you say politricks instead of politic. When you're saying law instead of law. Literally instead of literally. When you mispronounce these terms intentionally, why get upset with us when we call you an idiot? I just don't get it. Don't get mad at us when we call you stupid. You're acting stupid, and you act stupid intentionally. Super stupid. So tell your hentards, I don't give a damn how they feel. When you're sitting here mispronouncing terms that you should not be mispronouncing, and you do it intentionally, you are truly super stupid. God. Who child, y'all? All right, that's all I can stomach in with this. Shout out to Jay Witt, my brother. I love you, Deacon. I can't do it. I don't see how y'all did it the whole time. Yes. Oh, man. Is it giggly? This is why I've never trusted Keith on any platform. Hey, he's a clown. You can't make this up. Let's see. Thank you for the $5 Super Chicago Rilla. Thank you so much. I lived in Atlanta for 20 years before moving back home to Chicago. I hope y'all do the right thing there below. Hashtag Fila. I'm not. Yeah, I would never advocate anybody voting for her. We're not in the mood. And you already have a handful of people who have been reporting on her that live in Atlanta that are, out here speaking out, saying, hell no. She needs to kick rocks barefoot and move on. And her running as a Republican, she can sit here and get mad until kingdom comes, but she doesn't have the votes. She doesn't have the votes. It's not an area, the district that she's running in. It's not the district that's going to give her the votes to beat the Democratic candidates. She doesn't have the votes. So, no one knows who she is. And for what we know, we hate it and we can't stand it. That's it. We don't owe her anything. She had the right to run. We have the right to not vote for her ass. I'll put it like that. Plus, when you mispronounce half of the terms that you utilize on auto repeat, can we truly trust you when your brain has failed you already? Oh, thank you for the $5 super, honey. She is super stupid. Oh, man. Every who's in Unity City did I ask her to write exactly. No one wants it. Basic words, y'all. She would be the only one, Maureen says, she would be the only one running on the Republican side. Got to get someone else in there to run against her. Can't let a Democrat win. I understand. I'm apolitical, y'all. I don't swing one way or the other. This is why I asked, is the Republican Party truly this desperate to allow a Tiffany Henyard to represent them? Because if you're not, you need to prove that to her. And someone, even if you just put out information and ad campaigns or something against them, y'all can do that. The Republican Party can put out ads running against her and say, nope, we're not doing this with you, girl. Please vote no for this heifer here. The end. That's a whole ad in and of itself. It will get so many views. It's not even funny. Vote no for this heifer, Tiffany Henyard. She will take you off the checking account. The end. Oh man. Oh y'all. With the FBI still investigating her ass, it is what it is. Her arrogance for me is when you broke the law and the FBI is on your ass and you still get out there and run for all. Yeah, she thinks running for an elected position is going to keep them at bay, and that's not how that works. And we've gone over the rules for the FBI when it comes down to elections and their conduct, their rules of conduct, and how they handle those who are running for elections. Whether they announce that you're under investigation or even decide to drop an indictment on you, it comes down to whether or not it would change the results or the outcome of the election itself to avoid tampering with the election. If it does not change the outcome, they will indict her ass and go and collect her. Because if she is predicted to lose, knowing she doesn't have the votes as a Republican, then she can't say, well, I probably would have won if they had not indicted me. Because we already know she's under FBI investigation. So if they indict her, hypothetically, she can't say, well, I would have won had I not been indicted. No, because statistically, you're running in a Democratic-driven area where they're going to vote heavily for the Democrat. So you would not have won. Plus, you don't have the votes already. You don't have a platform. Even if you allowed to get to the end, you still won't win. So indicting you doesn't change that. And at the end of the day, you being indicted by the FBI is not going to be pushed to the side because of an election. It's just not going to happen. Because then you know you're going to try to flee. Because she came to Georgia. And it's like, you don't think they're going to just haul you back up there to Illinois? Because they can. They'll have you extradited back to Illinois. It'll be that simple. She acts like they can't get her if she's down here. I don't know what her goal is with that. She knows she's still under investigation. Her two goons have flipped. They've taken plea agreements. We've gone over them. They've signed plea agreements. It's been filed with the court. The judge has signed off on it. And now they know that they're obligated to testify, to provide information, discovery, everything else in between until the conclusion of this investigation on her ass. They have to give full cooperation, or else that plea agreement can be revoked and rendered null and void. And I don't think they want to go to prison for her. So you got to keep the chicken nugget still sipping out here. Keep on. It's just a matter of time. Can't make this stuff up, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Watch out. Eagley said, I know that how it works. It's just her arrogance for me that she knows she's broken the law. Exactly. That part she will lose. Her beauty is in between her and Jenna, and I don't know who works. Yeah. It's super is arrogant. I appreciate you all so much. Thank y'all so much. Thank you to our new member and supporter here, the Chicago Rilla. Thank you for the 10 and for the $5 supers. Y'all make sure you hit that like button. I don't think I can't even try. I can't take any more of this interview. He was god awful. He cutting out parts of the podcast and stuff. And it's like, why are you doing that? Does he not know he did that? Ugh, child. So for some reason, he decided to edit this thing and then upload it as opposed to just live stream it and then let it play out. And then, you proud of her, you proud of anything she says, then it shouldn't matter. But, whatever. I appreciate you all. We'll be back at it. I got another live schedule. So if you guys can, join me in that as we go over Umar the Oompa Loompa, another scammer and cult leader. But if not, I will see you all in the live stream on tomorrow. You guys take care. Have a good one. And until then, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.